Wild Yinzers kicking through the door, loud like a jag off at a Penske fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud, heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. This is episode 995 of the Dum Yinzers. I want to say what's up, everybody. Welcome back on this hump day installment of the show. Great to see everybody today. It is episode 995. I might have been a little ahead of myself the other day. I don't recall, but I may have been. We are on episode 995, just 5 episodes away from the big 1,000 here on the show. A lot of anticipation for this big 1,000th episode and the 5-year anniversary, and we'll be busting into season 10 after that to kick off the new football year for us here at the show, if you will. That is when the camp season begins and heads into camp, then spring training. Preseason, and then regular season. So we are just right around the corner. Very excited here at the show. Welcome back, everybody. Glad to see us today. Michael, how you be?
I'm good. Great. I'm happy to be here. I think my camera is still on vacation. That is, and my entire rig and system is choppy and slow. But I'm here and happy to be here.
As long as we could hear you, I guess, right?
I guess you might have to deal with my muscular form here in a little bit if this camera does not fix itself.
That's just what we were all hoping for. We thought, hey, it's Wednesday. What's going to go on in the show today? Let's all just stare at Mike's muscular, tattooed form.
Got to do what we got to do to get the show through. Like Vince McMahon says, get it in the ring. Get it in the ring. Let the show go.
Must go on.
Must go on, baby.
I couldn't agree more, guys. Welcome to the show. Welcome, everybody. Glad to see everybody walking in the door. A lot of things to get into today. A lot of things, actually. Let me just get this out of the way, Mike. I want to thank you and everybody else for the most boringest 3 hours of my life the other night. I watched a soccer game, and it wasn't bad enough that they lost, but it was. I know there's a lot of people that love it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But there you go, Mike. As the team lost 28-7.
Yeah.
If you're going on football terms, Team Belgium beats Team USA 4-1, eliminating USA out of everything. And I cannot ask for that 3 hours back.
Dude, I knew we were going to lose when Belgium sat 3 of their best players. Like, they're just like they're not going to start. They're not going to play. Like, okay, guys, it was a Monday night game, right? A Monday night game. Where the fuck was Coach Tomlin, and why was he not coaching that team? This is Monday night, all hands on deck. Coach T let us down again. That's all I'm going to say. My man's like what, just about undefeated on Monday Night Football, and he couldn't be here for the biggest game in American football.
The biggest L I thought they took was just it was soccer. I don't know. Like I said, the game, you had warned me in advance that we could possibly lose. So I kind of had that mindset going in. All right, we might not win, so that's fine. Yeah. It wasn't like I got pulled into the hype and then I got let down. The whole thing was just a letdown for me. And again, I understand a lot of people like it, and I'm not going to argue that. But for me personally, God, was that boring. God, was that boring.
Yeah, like when the U.S. plays a really good team, you can see the talent level, and it becomes a very boring game because you have the teams just controlling the game and doing whatever the fuck they want to us. What I'm pissed off about is I did not know Argentina played yesterday. We took the day off, and I slipped through the game because we never had an afternoon game the entire World Cup, and Argentina scores 3 goals in 13 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the game we should have watched. With real talent, with real players.
I mean, the whole time I'm watching this clock, I'm thinking, what is it even doing? What is this clock doing? It's going, and then it gets to like a time, and it's like half time left, and I'm watching, and then it's going. And I'm like, okay, this is probably about a half hour, and then it goes right past the half hour, and it's like, this is probably about 35 minutes. That clock just keeps going. I'm thinking, maybe I just don't get it enough, but at the end of the day, I mean, they are just kicking a ball around, and I don't know. Maybe in 4 years I'll get it, Mike, but still at this point, at 48 years old, I just still don't get it.
Hey, you gave it an honest shot. It wasn't for you, and you're not shitting on people who like it. So, that's all right.
There he is. Yeah, but it's still going on. So if it's your thing, do pay attention to soccer as it continues. This World Cup thing. The crowd was really into it. I got to give them that. I don't get it, but I got to give them that. Everybody was really into it. They were buzzing as they do during soccer games. And I even had Mike. Listen, I was even I was enough into it to where I had my goal sound button set and ready. But you know what? I'm not even going to use it because we didn't even barely score. They beat us.
We scored a goal, and then they come down and score 30 seconds later. It's like watching a Mike Sullivan-led Penguin game.
It was rough.
It was. If you were a fan of Belgium, it was a great game to watch.
Yeah, sitting around eating your waffles and watching soccer sounds wonderful. And let's talk about some real stuff. Let's talk about the Berg, baby. Before we get into our Steeler talk, which we have a lot of today, to be honest with you. I'm talking about a lot of Pittsburgh Steeler talk, Mike. Let's just talk real quick about our Pirates as they beat the Braves last night, 12-4. I'm sorry. Ryan O'Hearn hits 3 home runs, a grand slam, and 2 3-run home runs, Mike, for a grand total of 10 RBIs on the night. Ryan O'Hearn breaks the record that's been in place in Pittsburgh since 1939. Was a total of 9 RBIs. O'Hearn had a chance to do even more than that, but they were pitching a fielder late in the game because they were getting blown out so bad. And the guy went from throwing 49, and then he threw him a 79. He threw him a fastball. He was going 49 on everybody else. And then O'Hearn comes up and he tries to throw him off with a 79 mile per hour fastball, which isn't anything. But compared to a 49, it's a 30 mile per hour difference. He ends out looping it into the outfield. Amazing night for Ryan O'Hearn. Pirates big night offensively, again 12-4 over the Braves. Just 3 games out of the wild card spot. Still very much in it, providing they make something happen here pretty soon by way of the bullpen. Other than that, Mike, it's going to be a rough ride. Again, I think this team is built for the playoffs in short, choppy terms. You could set this team up to be really good with the pitching, and it's just. And then also, like, the other disappointment, the big controversy early in the week was Paul Skeens got the nod.
Yeah,
well, he's not going now, but Braxton Ashcraft is going, who we thought should have been there, and he should be there, and he's going. I think the big snub, though, is nobody else on the team is going. And why do I say that? Because this is the 3rd highest scoring offense in the league.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, I don't know. Somebody should have got in there, but it's all about the snub, I guess. This week is kind of the talk here in Pittsburgh, and we're going to get into that and so much more today as we do move along. I do want to say welcome to everybody. Let's get to the board, Mike, before we get going on this episode, Mike. Today we're just 67 Kimo von Oelhoffen days away from kicking things off. Also, before I get to the board, I just want to say this, Mike. All 3 preseason games will be televised nationally. So if you're not around town here, a lot of the people on the board out of town, you will be able to watch the Steelers this year. All 3 of the games starting next month, Mike, as a matter of fact, starting a little over a month away, will be nationally televised as the first game, I believe, is like the 13th of August or something like this. So, guys, just a little over a month away from preseason football. We didn't even get to camp yet. So, if you can believe that, just this close away, we'll be in preseason football a little over a month away. It's going to be exciting. It's coming fast, Mike. This is 67 days till the kickoff. And again, Mike, camp just in a few weeks. A lot of stuff going on here in the Berg. A lot of stuff to get into today, but I don't want to go on any further until we touch with the board guys. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. Welcome back to the show. Glad to see everybody. Cody, what up? Yo, in the house. He says, what it do? Great seeing you, big dog. Cody, always awesome seeing you. Welcome back. Also, Tortilla says this, Cody thought the show never came back after the shush from around the world. Cody, there we are, baby. We here. We ain't going nowhere.
I think Cody was praying I would never come back.
Well, I don't know what he's praying. I don't know. I'm like,
damn, bro.
I just know this. If he was praying, I'm sure he did have his religious candles placed around his home because, of course, Cody is Mexican. And Cody, if you could tell, this is not a religious candle. I actually was going to trick you the other day and ask you what this was. And I figured, being Mexican, you would have said it's a religious candle. It is not. It is not a religious candle, believe it or not. I had this all last week. It's one of Mike's baby bottles he has here. And they got Chucky on it. And there it is, Cody. It's not a religious candle.
Yes.
Cody's in disbelief. Let's get back to the board.
He's like, I came back for these two idiots. Still talking about Mexican candles.
Let's go right here to the original OG Yinzer Joe. Always great, a staple on the show for many a year. He says, "What's up, Yinzers?" and trade JPJ. Ooh, interesting. Let's go here to Cody. I do want to say what's up, Yinzer Joe. Great seeing you back, brother. Cody says, haha, I haven't got the notifications, huh? So maybe it's ultimately Mike's fault somehow.
This is definitely not my fault. This
I blame this on you somehow.
It's all on YouTube. So disable notifications and then turn them back on. That should hopefully reset the algorithm for you.
All right, there you go. Try that.
I don't know if that works or not. But anytime I call help desk, they always tell me, "Sir, did you turn it on and off again?" So
I try that with Mike all the time, but he just doesn't shut off. I don't know. I don't know. Let's continue on, Mike. Let's go right here to Cody.
Cody says, rare one today.
Right here. Tortilla, my man, all the way from Sacramento, California. Tortilla Jackson says this, Mike. ESPN is trying to help us get JPJ for cheaper. Tyrone, JPJ is the GOAT, my man. Always great seeing Tyrone in the house, big baby. Yeah, you were the GOAT, my man. JPJ, catch a little shade lately, but nobody's going to throw shade at my man Tyrone. I promise you that. Let's move on a little further down the bow right here. Let's go to... Where are we going? Cody says YouTube notifications aren't working on my phone. Gotcha. We could still blame it on Mike. Let's go right here to Tyrone. ESPN is a joke. You can't name me 5 better DBs than Peasy. Of course, we'll get into what they were saying today on the show. Lots to get into. Tortilla Jackson says I sent in an application to Taco Bell under the name Kaboli Tater Jr.
I like it.
I'm sure you're probably not going to get it after the first name under the concerns of possibly biting into the profit margin. I'm just guessing. I don't know. Don't go by me. I'm just saying. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says, leave it to the United States to lose to a waffle. Just learning. What's up, brother? He says, Rogers has a fake wife. You know what? Nobody still has even seen that woman, have they? Let's go back to Tortilla. Tortilla says, Mike Tomlin wouldn't use the middle of the soccer field. Joe, he says this. He goes on to name 5 names. He says Surtain, Stingley, Gardner, Gonzalez, McDuffie. Of course, we'll get into that so much and so much more here soon. Tortilla says Gardner is not better than JPJ, especially off of his injury. He certainly hasn't been playing up to what he should be, I guess, as of late. Maybe on the new defense, we'll see a little different out of him. But in the Jets defense, he was terrible. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, I'd rather watch WNBA than I would too. Matter of fact, I love WNBA. Let's go here to Just Learning. What's up? Always great seeing Just Learning. He says, parents pay for their kids to join soccer here in the U.S. Big in other countries is opposite. Yeah, man, for sure. And 99 out of 100 kids have a basketball sitting in their bedroom growing up here. That's why our basketball team, people are just different in different areas, man, for sure. Soccer all over the world. Hockey in Canada, you can't beat our U.S. men in basketball. I mean, baseball for the most part. And I can't wait to see, albeit it's going to be flag football. I can't wait to see our pros, Mike, playing some Olympic. At least it's flag football, but it's football.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Different skill sets, but we should win that one. If we don't, there's going to be interesting. Going to be interesting.
We have a lot more fast twitch muscles than a lot of these European countries. That's all I know, and I just know that's got to help. It certainly helps here. Let's continue. You would think. Let's go down to Ty. My man says, Yinzer Joe, please Gonzo Porter saying level sauce is mid as fuck. McDuffie ain't better than either. Nice try, though. Let's go down here to Tyrone. Tyrone says this also. Mikey says, hell, Stingley was ranked 2. Porter had better season than him. Into Joe says Gardner had 36 tackles, 1 pick and a sack. Porter had 35 tackles, 1 interception, no sacks. So 1 less tackle and 1 less sack. Got 1 guy on the board, 1 guy off the board. Again, we'll get into so much. It's an interesting topic. Certainly where we are with this contract, where we are in the process with getting JPJ extended. So it goes together. I don't know if it's benefiting JPJ, but again, it's going together with what's going on here in Pittsburgh, Mike, with our storylines for sure.
Oh, yeah, it's helping us out immensely. JPJ, like you said, not so much.
Yeah. JPJ camp not happy. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says you're dumb as fuck. LOL. Porter was ranked 1 and 2 in most stats. Tyrone follows up by saying sauce, barbecue, chicken, please. Steel Loyal, my man, always great seeing Steel Loyal in the house all the way from North Carolina. He says this, so that 1 sack makes him better. No, look up QBR, allowed when targeted at Yinzer Joe. Let's go here to Ty. Again, Ty says this. Again, if you were going to argue, come correct with me. Yinzer Joe says this ranking and the stats say differently. JPJ isn't the GOAT. Tortilla says Yinzer Joe only looks at stats. Tortilla says football was in analytics. Steel Loyal says this passer rating allowed 56.2 when targeted, forced incompletions. I'm sorry, ranked second in the NFL on 3rd down coverage with 35.3 forced incompletion rate. Tyrone follows it up by saying he is the GOAT and fake ass Steeler fans. You biggest JPJ hater I'd ever seen. You don't know shit about football. Stick to your day job. Steel Loyal said there's some stats for you, Joe. Cody says it's Mike's fault.
Of course, Cody would say that. He's not a biased witness.
And I agree. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. I just agree that it's Mike's fault. That's all.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's go here to Corey at Don't Drink That. Corey says, hey, fellas, good afternoon. Always great seeing my man Corey in the house. Of course, the host of the podcast, Don't Drink That, right here on YouTube. If you love conspiracy theories like I do, go check out Corey at Don't Drink That. Plenty of content for everybody, from aliens to Illuminati card decks to government conspiracies, aliens, everything else. Go check Corey out. Really, really good work. I got to be honest with you. Go check him out today. Let's go down here to the original OG Yinzer Joe. He says this, well, like Tortilla said, it's not all analytics. LOL, trade JPJ. I figured today was going to be interesting on the board. I got to admit, Mike, it was no surprise to me, but I'm glad that everybody showed up. That's all that matters. And we'll get this thing figured out. I promise you. I promise you. Let's go here. Let's go to Cody. He says, unless Mark Malone in the house. Mark will come rolling in at some point after he wakes up and combs his mustache. He'll be here.
Oh, he's here. Yeah, I just saw him pluck in.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
Let's go to Just Learning. Dude is going to get a JPJ tattoo. LOL. Steel Loyal says, now the stats don't matter. LOL. And I do want to say what's up to Truth Thong. Welcome back to the show, Truth Thong. You know I love you. You know I love that name. You know I love them thongs, baby. Truth Thong says, problem I have is JPJ tackles like a little girl. Let's continue. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. He says, I'm on to you, Yinzer Joe. You're a troll is what Steel Loyal is saying. Tortilla says this, bro. He has 3 career interceptions and 1 career sack. He also has allowed 3 touchdowns in his career. Yinzer Joe says, I'm just a troublemaker, man. Tortilla says JPJ didn't get tainted by Teflon Don. That alone should make him the GOAT.
Like Tortilla sounded suspiciously a lot like Mark Malone in that post.
Ooh. All right. Is this we do got Mark? He said we do got Mark. So let's wait to see what he got to say. Also, let's get down here to Tyrone. Tyrone says Porter is him. Period. He says I ain't gonna consider anything else. I'm sorry. Yinzer Joe says Porter isn't him or the GOAT. Trade him for a real GOAT. Tortilla says a real GOAT would eat the grass we just paid for. We can't have that. There's my man. The myth, the man, the mustache, Mark Malone in the house. Always great seeing Mr. Malone. Mark says this, JPJ's stats are skewed by Tallman's taintings. Again, someone always running free in Tallman's D, so no one threw at JPJ. It's gonna be interesting today. I do know that, everybody. Welcome aboard. Glad to see everybody. Welcome to everybody on the terrible board, you guys. I know. Listen, here it is. It's July 8th, and everybody is excited about the Steelers and still going hard about the Steelers, Mike, as they have since the very day after the playoff game. So you know what? I know that this room, I know that this board, they're more excited than most people are because they're here every day, getting into it, trying to figure out the ins, the outs, the bottoms, the tops, the ups, the downs of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike. And as I said, we're just a month and 5 days away from playing a preseason football game right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 1 month and 5 days away from playing Green Bay in the very first preseason game in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, if you can believe that, Mike.
It is getting a whole hell of a lot closer than I thought it was. You know, it, like you said, all 3 of our games on primetime TV. Not bad for a team that is supposed to finish 3rd, 4th in the division. Take a huge step back, but yet they want to put us all over the national landscape.
You know what?
Just saying, it sounds a little fishy.
The thing about being a Steeler fan, you got to know how to read between the lines, I think. Read the writing on the wall. Because at the end of the day, they always tell us, oh, you ain't this, your team's not relevant, your team's not this. Well, you know what? Why is our team always this? Why is our team always that? Why is our team nationally televised in 3 preseason games? Why does everybody care about our team when they're packing stadiums across the country full of terrible touts? You know what? It's just being a Steeler fan, like when you're top dog, and you've been the top dog for many years, coming, you know, I mean, this team, Mike, as a matter of fact, I want to stop for 1 second. I want to stop for 1 second because today, we are celebrating the Pittsburgh Steelers' birthday, Mike. This day on 1933, July 8th, was the day that the Pittsburgh Steelers was bought. Today is the Pittsburgh Steelers' birthday, and I'm glad to be here to celebrate it with everybody today. So much going on, guys. Yes. Again, I just can't get over how much is going on with camp just under 3 weeks away from starting, with preseason here in Pittsburgh on national television for people that aren't here in town. Mike, a little over a month away, a month and 5 days, and we're going to be playing meaningful football not too long after that. So, guys, welcome to the show. We got a lot to get into today. Let me keep on this board, Mike. I don't want to get too far behind. I'm seeing everybody's as fired up as I am, but today is the birthday of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Celebrate accordingly, as Mike, 1933, 2033 is now just about 7 years away. Steelers are 93 years old today, so
hopefully we will be here for the 100th anniversary of the Pittsburgh Steelers, and like you said, celebrate. You know, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to go down to the local racetrack and place a bet on the ponies, just like old man Rooney did. So maybe I can win enough money at the racetrack to buy myself a football team. I
was reading this morning that he bought it for whatever, like peanuts, basically. Yeah. They were saying the comparison today would only be $65,000.
Yeah, that's insane. Like you can't buy. You could buy maybe a suite for like 2 games for $65,000.
But happy birthday to our beloved. Happy birthday to you, Black and Gold. We are celebrating you on this hump day. Mike, let's stay on the board here for just a few more moments. Again, I don't want to get too behind on the board, but we do have a lot to get into, so do stick around, guys. Of course, some debated heated topics today. Of course, we've mentioned on the board so much more. Let's do stay on the board though briefly here. Mike Steel Loyal says this: laugh my ass off. Yinzer Joe's a rage baiter. Mark Malone truly believes what he says.
There's difference.
You know what? It's making a lot of sense to me as I'm reading it.
Hey, maybe Mark Malone's just repeating what the Krylon tells him.
Maybe
in the keyboard duster. We don't know what the real Mark Malone thinks. I think the chemicals have taken over.
Yeah. I had a buddy, Mike, who said once he's seen Satan while on a keyboard duster, and he was straight up serious. He believed, and maybe he hit it. I don't know if he did or not, but he told me once that he's seen Satan while on duster. So let's hope Mark's doing a little better than this. Cody says this: Mike, did you just shush me?
Never.
All right, let's go here to Mark Malone. Mark says JPJ would be a mid at best in most any other defenses, including Graham's. We need to trade him now while he still has some value. I mean, that's a point that a lot of people are making about TJ Watt right now after the numbers that came out today. The reports, this report that we're going to get into here real soon, the positional rankings. Going to get into this is causing a big stir in the Berg. Tortilla, Mike says, shh. Corey says, I got some coaching for my channel, so hopefully there will be some growth soon. Hey, good luck, brother. I'm on it, baby. I'm always over there. Always checking out your videos. I love what you got going on. Cody says, don't shush me, Deontay Johnson Jr. Cody's going all in today.
I'm running backwards.
There you go. Just Learning says, don't drink that. Who really killed Kirk? Hey, get over there. You might be surprised. Perhaps Kirk isn't even dead. I don't know. Who knows what the hell's going on out there?
I thought Spock saved him.
Spock, yeah, I thought he did too.
And did we're talking about a different Kirk. I thought we were talking about Captain Kirk.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Captain Kirk too. Let's go right here. Tyrone says, Mark, no way you just said that BS. Hey, what's up, dude? Always great seeing JD in the house. Dude, in the house. Afternoon, fellas. My man. Welcome to the board. Welcome back, sir. Welcome to the show. We're getting there. We are getting there again. As I looked at this date, Mike, because again, the report was that the Steelers, all 3 of our preseason games will be nationally televised. So I had to take a look. I was like, all right, well, when does this start? It's literally 1 month and 5 days away. Green Bay at home. And so, come on, guys. We made it from mid-January. Here we are. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, tortillas feel the steel. Tortilla is feel the steel.
Don't put that evil on my tortilla.
Don't drink that says at it was Israel. Erica is really an Israeli spy and was part of the Epstein network. Hey, you just never know what's going on. But again, go check Corey out. He does have a lot to say over there on his page. Tyrone says, don't ever call JPJ mid and other schemes. He sounds stupid. He covers wide receiver ones and press. Learn ball. I knew y'all was going to piss me off today. Let's go here to Cody. Cody says, Mark Malone. Tortilla says, the fuck does that even mean, Mark? He says, how does an outside DB play better in someone else's scheme? We got less pressure on quarterbacks, and he still played like a top 5 DB. Corey says this. I'm going to go right here. She was just canceled. She was in a canceled movie called November Renaissance, where she was a spy, and a sniper who was hired to take out a top political figure. It's always in the movies, man. Tyrone says, Mark, that is the stupidest shit I ever heard. No joke, bro. You don't know anything about defense. Tortilla said, that's like saying Boswell played better in Danny Smith's scheme. All right, that's fair. Let's go here. Let's go to Cody. Says, you killing me, Smalls. Just Learning says, Rodgers beats Green Bay in the Super Bowl this year. You know what? Maybe we got beat by them last year. Maybe they'll beat up on us in the preseason a little bit this year, and then we'll face them in the Super Bowl and win. That seems fitting, right? That seems like a good part to it, the fairy tale ending that could be. Jerome Bettis talking about that, Mike. He's saying that it's going to be interesting. There's going to be some serious energy out there. He's very bullish on this Pittsburgh Steelers team. Like as we talked on Monday, he's saying this team is 10 times better.
10 times better.
So again,
10 times
bullish.
no better. I hope so. I hope that new energy carries over the way we saw what it did for the Penguins. It's right next door, man. New coach, new energy. A lot of the same pieces were there. They brought in some key pieces. It's kind of what the Steelers are doing, and hopefully that new coach energy rubs off.
Willie Colon also saying, Mike, the Steelers are going to be dangerous. So former Steelers certainly very optimistic and bullish about the team this year. Let's scoot along here a little bit. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Steel says Danny Smith's scheme. Just Learning. He says, thanks for that. Thanks for the info. Yeah, he's got all kind, man. Go check him out. Hit the follow button for him. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says, how can I have s'mores if I haven't had anything yet? Let's go right here. Dude says, happy birthday, Steelers. That's right, baby. The love of my life. Happy birthday to you. The country's 250. The football team is 93. Mike's pushing 90.
I feel like it today, man. My knees are all locked up.
Oh, them knees they're clanky. I hear you sometime going up them steps.
Dude, they creak, they crack, they pop.
I don't know what the hell's going on. Let's go to Ty. Ty says, hey, Mike, did you know that JPJ would be mid in any other scheme? Ty says.
Yeah, I thought that was common knowledge, Ty. I thought just because, he was here in Pittsburgh, he was great. Anywhere else he would. Anywhere else he couldn't lock up the number one receiver like he does.
Let's go right here. Tyrone says, I'm sorry, no. Mark Malone says, a good day to trade JPJ. It's just a good day to trade JPJ.
Like when you told me what the title, like what the main focus was going to be in the thumbnail, like I had
the first
right
thing
away what for the thumbnail was going to be, and then I knew what all the comments were going to be. Like it is going more or less to a T. It is great.
I passed Mike in the hallway as we were getting ready to start the show today. I was like, well, how do you think it's going to be with Ty? He's like, oh, it's going to be tough, man.
It's going to be a rough one.
It's going to be a rough one. But you know what? Ty don't back down. Ty's a fighter. Ty will take the shit, and he fights his battles every day. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Let's go here to Tyrone. He says, this, Mark, I'm going to put you on blast in every chat and see you in now watch. Oh, that I see you in now watch. He says, gotcha. Mark Malone says, maybe a 1 in a second. Talking about for the trade value. Cody says, Mike's going to celebrate by putting on a Penn State jersey. He is going to celebrate by putting on a Penn State jersey.
I got the colors on.
You do got the colors.
Yeah. Unintentional. It just kind of worked out that way.
Tyrone says, every time I see someone in a chat, I'm going to make everyone hate you. Steel Loyal says this, if JPJ is mid, how are we going to get a first-round pick for him? Mark Malone, you're unorganized. Tortilla says, Mark has a jersey that says trade JPJ on the back. Tyrone says, Steel Loyal, exactly, bro. Just be talking. That's what we got. Mark Malone says they took all the good stuff out of the duster. Did they really? Yeah, again, a buddy of mine, I have no reason to doubt him. He's somebody I've known for a long time, and he knew his way around the brain cell killers, and that was the one thing he always talked about was seeing Satan when he did the duster. So I don't know. Let's go here. You go to Mark Malone. He says, fucking Krylon will probably go water-based soon, more than likely. Because at first they took the pain away from Mike eating the chips when we were kids. Now, like you're saying, they're changing all this shit. So,
yeah, like bring back the lead paint, man. It was tastier.
The lead paint, that's what it was. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says, Cousins is alive, I thought. Tyrone, he says, Mark, if JPJ is mixed, why do you want to trade him? Hey, Lindsay, always great seeing Lindsay on the board. Hope everything is going well for Lindsay right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Always great seeing you, sister. Tortilla says, Tortilla the torta. Let's go down here a little bit. Yinzer Joe says, what can we get for JPJ? It would be a good deal either way. Peanut butter, jelly sandwich. Let's go down here. Cody says this, JPJ needs to hit the duster before the ball gets to him so he can catch it in the slow motion. And although JPJ caught more passes than DK Metcalf last year. I do want to say what's up, brother, all the way from down south, Tennessee. I believe, Kevin, if I'm not mistaken. Welcome back, Kevin. He says, hey, Yinzers. Always great seeing you, sir. Back on a terrible board. I know you're just as excited as everybody else is. Again, so much coming up real soon. As a matter of fact, you might not even realize how soon. We'll get to that, back to that in just a moment. The original OG, Mike, he says this. Yinzer Joe says, you got to stay off them knees, son. You got to stay off them knees, especially at that age. Come on.
Yeah, I know, but like I just said in the chat, like, how am I going to make any money and or friends if I stay off my knees?
That's true. And you don't have any, and I don't understand why your knees are so bad. I don't understand why your knees are so bad. You should have neither of these problems. But anyway, Mike has plenty of friends and plenty of money. I'm just messing with him.
And bad knees.
Kevin, I am so sorry. Kevin is Virginia. And I think there was a second Kevin. They came in like the same day, Mike, if I'm not mistaken. There was two Kevins, and one was Virginia, one was Tennessee. I do apologize, and I'm going to take a mental note, and that'll never happen again, I promise you. Kevin, I do want to say what's up. Kevin Reed says, hey, Yinzers, welcome back to the show. Always great seeing you, sir. Let's go to, and I apologize about the mix-up. Let's go to Yinzer Joe. He says, got to stay off them knees. Mike, let's go here to Tyrone. Tyrone says this, I'm pissed off. I knew he was going to be snubbed. I'm mad. Tyrone says, y'all see, they just dropped the top. Yes, yeah, we did get the top edges. We'll get into that here shortly as well. TJ Watt did make it. I did want to throw that out there for Lindsay, who just walked in the door in case she didn't catch that. TJ Watt did make the top 10 edge rushers list. We'll get into that here shortly. I do want to say what's up to Andre. What's up, man? He says, playing No Rest for the Wicked. What's up? Welcome to the show. No Rest for the Wicked. Yeah, baby. I would certainly do that for you, but YouTube is I don't even know what the word is.
They don't like us.
Yeah.
They don't like it when we have fun here.
You know what gets me? You could take somebody's song and play it at a party in front of thousands of people, but you can't put a song on a video in front of your audience. Gotta love it. You gotta love it. Let's continue on. Okay, yes, of course, Kevin is from Virginia. Cody says, pretty easy to wear those ugly Penn State jerseys. You just need a white shirt with blue numbers on it. Let's go to Tortilla. He says, a Pirate will hit 3 home runs in one game before JPJ is traded. Oh, wait, good one. I mean, come on, in all fairness, I liked it. It wasn't, I didn't like the stab. I didn't like where it was going, but of course the joke was good. Always on top of the funny, Tortilla. Andre says, Mike, maybe Mick. We do want to say welcome, Andre. Welcome to the show. Possibly Hispanic. I'm guessing maybe from the Hispanic part of the audience. There may be a little mix-up in the translation, but if that's the case, we do apologize. Do stick with us. We're going to get into Steeler talk heavy here in just a moment. The original Yinzer Joe says, this, Mike, you got to do a better job, brother. Like JPJ. Come on.
No, JPJ and I were both snubbed in the top 10 list. That's all I'm going to say.
Mike's having a hard time cracking the top 10 list of the show. So I come on. Just kidding again. Just kidding again.
Okay.
I
would turn my camera up, but I'm afraid it won't come back on. I can't even fucking rage quit today. It's bullshit.
Let's go here to Kevin. Yeah, okay, it's all good. Thanks, man. I apologize about that. Again, you and another Kevin popped in literally on the same day. It was literally the same day. Let's go to Lindsay. Oh, I caught it. All right, she got the news on TJ. Great. I do want to say what's up to Vegas, my man, all the way from Las Vegas in the house. Mikey says, what's good, everyone? There's Vegas. I do want to say what's up to Robert Plummer. Welcome to the show, Robert. Robert says, hello from Pittsburgh, Northside, Perrysville, and Federal Street. Welcome to the show.
Nice.
Great to see you, my man, right there in town. Always great seeing local faces as well. Faces all over the planet, Mike. Always here on the Terrible Board, putting their voice out there. And this is what this show does. It puts your voice out there. I will touch on everything said by the audience every day on our Terrible Board and make sure it gets out there. And that's what we do. And I do want to say welcome, Robert. It's great to have you here from right here in the Berg, baby. Let's go here to Vegas. Vegas says Penn State original colors were black and pink. I don't mind.
Pink on the inside.
Well, it's something. I don't know. Maybe it was black and red. I'm thinking somebody had a black and pink somewhere. Maybe it was in a movie or something. I don't know. Let's go here, Mark, which doesn't look bad. I'm going to be honest with you. Of course, with a feminine color like pink, people will make fun, but at the end of the day, black and pink is not a bad combination. Mark Malone says, I'm giving it a 50-50 chance JPJ is traded before or at the very beginning of camp. Ty's head has just got to be ready to blow off his body at this point. Mark, why would they trade him? Tyrone says in response. Mark says, been over that. Tyrone says, you called him mid. What could we even get for him? LOL. Vegas says, your 6.6540 wasn't a good look. Vanilla Thunder. And that's being generous.
I would say that's a good time. That's a good time.
You're really upgrading.
Shit, man. I'll take, if I can run a 6.6540, sign me up, brother.
Believe me, Mike he'd be smiling.
I'd be telling everyone what I ran.
Mark Malone, makes too much sense not to. Robert will be all right. Absolutely, my man. We will be all right. We're going to have a good season this year. Kevin says this. He says, give JPJ top 5 money and move on. Tyrone said, agree. Kevin, at least you have a brain. And Kevin has been very, very good so far on the board and have nothing bad to say about my man from Virginia. Let's go here to the original OG Yinzer Joe. Mike, he says, Porter's agent is still talking to the Lions. LOL. I think he's got other clients on the team. Mike, also some trade talk about the Lions. Again, just some speculation, is they are having some problems with their secondary, of course, after losing somebody from the secondary with some issues last week. Just some trade rumors, again, going around the town about possibly some people moving from the secondary because Detroit could be looking. And you know what? What could we get? Could we get something that could certainly help this team, Mike, if we would consider shopping one of the names that's being talked about? JPJ is not one of the names that's being talked about. We'll get into that shortly more as well. Still loyal. He says this. Still loyal says, yeah, it makes so much sense to trade away our lockdown corner. It's really truly hard to find one that.
When you get one, you have to see what you can get on the open market for him. That just only makes sense. It's like when you get a franchise quarterback, you got to see what he's worth on the open market. You got to take that trade.
Yeah. Robert says, can't get no closer. That's right, baby. You're right smack dab in the middle, son. Love it. Love it. Welcome, Robert. Let's go here to Tyrone. Actually, makes 0 sense. J. Ram, Samuel Eccles will not be here next year. Tortilla says JPJ's agent is talking yo mama. That's what Tortilla says. Let's go here to Lindsay. I can't wait until he's paid. At this point, it's really old. And you know what? At the end of the day, I think everybody's kind of feeling that vibe as well. Let's go to Cody. Cody says, I thought Vegas was from Lubbock. I thought he was from Lubbock. Let's go to Kevin. Kevin says $27 million for 4 years would put him in the top 5. LOL. Still Loyal says this. He says, what are you going to say whenever he's extended, Mark? Mark's going to come in and say it was a great idea and we should have listened to him the whole time.
He'll bemoan it like, oh, man, now we're not going to be able to sign Ross Cockrell in the offseason or some shit.
Hey, you leave Ross alone. Let's go here to Tyrone. Agree, Lindsay. Tater, what's up? I do want to say what's up, Tater, in the house, all the way from Northern Ireland. Always great seeing Tater. Tater says JPJ wants to play for the proper cold team. Welcome back, man. Yinzer Joe says Mike can't stay off his knees to run that fast.
Coincidentally, I ran the 40 in a 6.65 on my knees.
I'm gonna be honest with you. These Mike on his knees jokes, they're gonna get some game balls if they keep going on. I'm amused.
Please try not put Mike in his knees and balls in the same sentence, please.
I'm thoroughly amused. Let's continue down here. Let's go to Tortilla. Mark owes us all $8 each for pain and suffering. Tyrone says he's going to be. He's going to say he will be traded 4 years down the road. Lindsay says this. Who the Saints? I don't think that's accurate. Tater. Good one, Lindsay. Tyrone says San Fran. Lindsay knew. Let's go here to Tortilla. Tortilla says Gold Team is an elite unit of Spartan, the second super soldiers. Lindsay's letting Ty know what's going on. Ty says he left the Cleveland Clowns. Cody says give them Corey Trice.
There we go. I knew we cut him too early.
Tyrone said I was just trying to help. Vegas says I shot the sheriff in Lubbock, but I didn't shoot the deputy. I shot the sheriff. Robert says we're Super Bowl. I couldn't agree with you more. I agree, Robert.
I think we're damn close. We have a good shot.
I think we have just as good a chance as anybody else in the AFC for sure. I do. I mean, the two teams who were in the championship game last year, I feel good about playing both of them this year. I can't wait to play Denver, and I can't wait to play New England. And if we beat both of those teams, maybe, just maybe, people will start understanding what it is we're seeing here in Pittsburgh, Mike.
I completely agree. I think both those teams are going to step back a little bit. I think KC's not going to be what they once were. Buffalo, I think their window is closing. I agree with Big Ben. The Ravens' window might be shut. Who else does that leave in the AFC? The AFC is kind of wide open right now.
I agree.
The toughest competition's in the NFC. This is like it has like a 90s vibe to it this season does, where you're kind of hoping the NFC can beat the shit out of each other and you can sail through the AFC kind of unscathed and let those guys come and beat up into the Super Bowl if your squad makes it to the Super Bowl out of the AFC.
And in the names that people are calling for, the teams are the Los Angeles Rams. I mean, this is the team that's getting all the recognition, Mike. And as far as the odds go, they're way up there. I mean, you might as well hand them the Lombardi Trophy at this point if you're going by Vegas odds. So again, at the end of the day, if you gotta like the fact that we are in the AFC, you gotta like what's going on in the AFC. I think it does play benefit for the Steelers this year. Let's go down here to. I'm going to go where am I going? Right around here. I'm going to go to Ty. Ty says Mark on his knees to beg the Steelers to trade PZ, please. Let's go here to Kevin. Kevin says at least Mike's on his knees and not his legs are not up.
It would be better on my knees and my back if my legs were up, but that does not sound enjoyable. The other way doesn't sound enjoyable either, but
I don't know.
Less enjoyable, less unenjoyable. I don't know. More unenjoyable.
Robert says yes. Vegas, Cody, the original Yinzer Joe. Yinzer Joe says they're trading JPJ for Joe Flacco. Need a backup quarterback. Tortilla says trading JPJ for OJ. Yo, my man Jamie Carlo on the board. Always great seeing you. And finally, let's get down here to Ty. Ty says Thornhill throws shots at Steelers. Said he didn't like playing. For DC, laugh my fucking ass off. Can't argue with that, but he was trash. Let's go here to Mark Malone. I don't think he gets extended. Tortilla Thornhill's theme song is Funky Town. And finally, Corey, don't drink that, says I heard JPJ was on the table for Sanders. I think one more is coming through. Steel Loyal says should have stopped. I don't think. Mark. All right, guys, let's get into some stuff here, Mike, because again, of course, a lot of reference to what it is we're talking about. However, maybe if you didn't catch this, I'd like to fill everybody in. There is an annual positional ratings that goes down by ESPN every year. And as we learned, Mike, early in the week, the running backs was listed. Yesterday, the cornerbacks were listed. And then today, the edge rushers are listed. And this is what we have so far. I just want to say, Mike, there's no running backs from the Steelers on this list that was ranked. This list looks like this: a running back that we'll see in week 1, Bijan Robinson, number 1, Jahmyr Gibbs, 2, Saquon Barkley, 3, McCaffrey, 4, Jonathan Taylor, 5, Derrick Henry, 6, James Cook, 7, Achin from Miami. I think he's still in Miami. He's 8. Kenneth Walker, the 3rd, Mike, the Super Bowl MVP, comes in 9th, and Breece Hall comes in 10 overall on Monday in this particular ranking system. Again, this is put out every year by ESPN, and there's also a schedule that it goes on. We'll get to that here in just a moment. Mike, this is what this is what everybody's all worked up about. Well, let me give you today's results real quick, and then we'll talk about JPJ. Today, in the edges, it looked like this, Mike. Myles Garrett, number 1, according to this list. Myles Garrett, number 1. Micah Parsons, number 2. As far as edge rushers go, Will Anderson, number 3. Max Crosby, 4. Aiden Hutchinson, 5. Hunter, 6th. TJ Watt, 7. Nick Bosa, 8. Burns from the Giants. Brian Burns, number 9. And Nick Benito from Denver, who seems to have a lot of good people on that defense. Like, we knew the defense in Denver was looking good, but as I'm looking and seeing more names of that defense pop up everywhere, I'm starting to say, hey, you know what? Maybe this defense is damn good. Mike, and here's what it's going to look like. Monday was running backs. Yesterday was cornerbacks. Today is edge rushers. Tomorrow they'll be ranking defensive tackles. On the 10th, they'll be ranking – what are they ranking on the 10th? I can't even read my – tight ends, I'm sorry. On the 11th, they'll be ranking offensive linemen, tackles primarily. On the 12th, they'll be doing their ranking of interior offensive linemen, centers and guards. On the 13th, they'll be doing their quarterback rankings. Off-ball linebackers on the 14th. They'll be ranking the wide receivers on the 15th, and they'll be wrapping it up with safeties on the 16th of July. So just 8 days away from they'll have all their annual positional rankings out, Mike. But the big one that's catching everyone's attention, of course, is the list that JPJ is not on. You know, a lot of debate here on the show. Is JPJ top 5? Is he top 3? Is he top? I don't know. But Mike, this particular list is telling me that JPJ is not even in the top 10. Telling us, Mike, that he is honorable mention. But that's not sitting so well. And again, it's not just our tie here on the board, Mike. Not sitting so well with a lot of Steeler fans all over the place. Let me see if I have. Okay, you guys ready? You guys want to hear the cornerback list that they put up here? This is who they said, Mike. Everybody on this list, according to ESPN, is better than our lockdown cornerback. This is what their list looked like. I'm going to start from 1 and go to 10. We'll go from best to worst. Mike, number 1, of course, Patrick Surtain. Listen, I have no problem with having him up there. He's a big name. He's always been a big name. Been very impressive for years. He belongs in here. Number two, Stingley. They got Stingley at number 2. Number 3, Gonzalez. Gonzalez at number 3. Witherspoon at 4. McDuffie at 5. Quinion Mitchell at 6. Denzel Ward at 7. J.C. Horn at 8. Sauce Gardner at 9. And if you can believe this, Mike, Cooper DeJean gets on the top 10 cornerbacks list. But there you have it. Mike, what am I missing? What are you missing? Of course, words were said. I think a lot of good words by a former teammate said some nice things about him, which caused problems in other areas with other people. But we'll get to that shortly here, Mike. What am I missing? What is the board missing? What is the Steelers fans missing because according to this list, JPJ, who's again in his contract, looking for a contract, people are saying he's going to change the market. People are saying he's going to be this. He's top 3. Mike, if he doesn't make the list, what does this do to his chances, and what's going on?
I don't know what's going on because 1,467 man covered snaps without allowing a touchdown. That's to me is pretty good. 3rd in the NFL in overall passer rating allowed, 6th the lowest in completion percentage allowed at 47.8%. So those numbers right there, 3rd and 6th, those are inside top 10, right? I'm not a math guy. Those are in top 10. Open target rate, so guys that he leaves open, he's 5th in the league, so he's 5th best at not leaving people open. Catch rate, he's 4th best in allowing catches. He's tied for 4th in forced incompletions. Forced incompletion rate is number 3. Yards allowed per coverage snap. That's number 2. There's only one guy better than him in the NFL. And then explosive pass play rate allowed. He's number 1. All those stats I just rattled off are all within the top 10. Some of those were in the top 5. One of those was just him alone. How that does not garner you to be considered a top 10 corner, I don't know what does. 11 pass breakups, 1 interception, same amount of interceptions as Sauce Gardner, I think, and as Surtain. It's not like these guys are getting 8, 9, 10, 11 interceptions. Porter's not getting them. He's right. He was right there with those guys. He only had 6 penalties, on him last year. That's better than a lot of these guys had too. So I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because that first 2 years, he didn't have these great interception numbers. He was a 2nd-round pick, maybe. A lot of these guys were 1st-round picks, like Sauce Gardner. Even before he got traded, his play was taking a step back last year, and they still had him 3rd, 4th, or inside the top 5. So it's a lot of this again right here. It's on name value, name recognition. It's wild to me, man. You look at JPJ's play on film and advanced analytics. He's one of the best corners in the league. It's hard to deny.
And I don't know if you got this one. It's just a side note that I did have, Mike. He has a lower passer rating than every single person on this list except for Stingley.
Yeah.
So there again.
The best 3rd down corner in the league, too. He has the lowest first down percentage or completion percentage on 3rd down, too, in the NFL. So he's doing everything that you want a corner to do.
Now, what's the difference? Why is he on the honorable mention list when these 10 people who have the same kind of numbers or not as good as JPJ numbers? What's the explanation on why we're waking up and seeing this list yesterday and seeing that JPJ is not even on it?
He's maybe not a flashy player. That rookie year where he had a lot of penalties, I think that's just still in people's mind that, he's a handsy player. He gets a lot of penalties.
And we got to remember, this is over 70 league executives, coaches, and staff members that voted. So, this isn't fans. This isn't, anybody that's outside of the game so we could say, what do they know? Mike, so, again, this is...
I'm trying to think what they are thinking, too, because, you watched him clamp up Jamar Chase when the Steelers finally put him on there. Let him cover him. His first year in the league, he covered second year covered DK and blanketed him. Same thing with Puka Nacua when Nacua was winning offensive rookie of the year. JPJ locked him up. So everyone JPJ is on, he locks up. So I don't know why. Maybe they're human too, and maybe they think, he has a lot of penalties. He had a lot of penalties. And they're like, no, that was just his rookie year.
Which they went down. And there's a good point to that, Mike. Even if they try to use these as arguments, the penalties or the tackling wasn't good, that's all improved over the years. And going according to this list, this is this year. This is what we're just going off of most recent. So you can't even put the penalties, or you can't even put the poor tackling, because they both did improve through his first 3 years. So again, I'm just having a hard time. Some people, I do want to say what's up to everybody on the board. I'll get to you in just 1 second. Some people were making the point one way, some people were making a point the other way, and there you are in the middle. You're trying to read the writing on the wall and figure out what's going on. And again, just very coincidental, Mike, that this is playing out like this as we were continuing to try to work on a contract for Joey Porter Jr. here in Pittsburgh. So the extension, of course, I'm talking about. Very interesting. A lot to get into today. Let me get on the terrible board, guys, because I don't want to get too far behind. We're going to get into this big time today and so much more. JPJ's hands are sus. I just want to throw that out there. That is something that was said about JPJ's hands by Darius Slay, but he said a lot of good things about him as well. But I just like the term sus being used by NFL players these days.
His hands are sus. One of the guys I work with, he told me, he's like, Mike, you're 45 years old. Don't use sus anymore.
I know. When your son says, when you got kids that say, it's hard not to.
Well, hey, I've used that word longer than they have.
I never even heard of it until the kids started saying it. Let's go here. Let's go to come back up here quite a way. Started taking off once we started talking about the JPJ, man. All right, here we go. Let's go right here to Lindsay. I might switch teams if we get Sanders. Just says, who, Dion? Tortilla says, my sources tell me JPJ was sending derpy messages. Maybe he's trying to put weight on. I don't know. Steel Loyal says James Cook disrespect is crazy. Yinzer Joe says Dion is locked down. He's probably still better than JPJ. And he only has a half a foot. He has a nub. We're talking about Dion. Cody says MVS theme song is West Town Girl. Tortilla Megan the Stallion probably runs faster than Dion Sanders. The original OG Yinzer Joe says, where the hell is Herbig on that list? On what list? We got linebackers.
Yeah.
We got linebackers coming up. Let's go here to Steel Loyal says Frazier better be top 3. Mike, of course, he was being talked about. He is being talked about as being a possible breakout candidate this year, which, in my opinion, Mike, just continue.
He already did.
Just continue to do what you're doing if you're Frazier.
Yeah.
You know? And he's he's a football player. He's not going to overthink that kind of shit. He's just going to do what he does, and he's going to get his accolades. Let's go right here. Cody. Cody says, a chin from Miami. Let's go to Tyrone. Yinzer Joe, that just told me everything I need to know about your football knowledge. Vegas says Omar is paying to say JPJ isn't that good. Let's go here to right here. Yinzer Joe, JPJ is a fairy tale, not even a real player. Lindsay says, I agree. I agree with top 3. Steel Loyal says Surtain and Stingley are clear 1 and 2, but it's a toss-up between JPJ and Gonzo at 3 is what Steel Loyal is saying. Mark Malone says JPJ just isn't a top 10 man. Everybody sees it. Somber says ESPN. Hey, Yon. What's up, Yon? What's up, Yonber? Always great seeing Somber from Los Angeles, California. Tortilla says this. He says DeJean and Mitchell are not better than JPJ. You know what? I would have loved to have either of those picks. So I know, like, during those drafts, Mike, Mitchell was somebody that we wanted. Cooper DeJean, I mean, somebody that we talked about, certainly.
Yeah.
Philadelphia. Just again, once you got a good team, like, you could then start being able to get those players like they did. And again, I think they got both of them guys. It was either the same draft or one right after another.
It was the same drafted. I think I read that Cooper DeJean is being talked about being moved to like free safety.
Okay.
So like, it's just funny that he's in this list as well.
We will see. Kevin says JPJ and Dean will each have 3 interceptions this year, in my opinion. Lindsay says he's top 5, not top 3. Tyrone says Porter, Gonzo, Witherspoon, Mitchell all can argue top 3. Mark Malone, everybody knows JPJ won't do well out of Tomlin's. Won't do well out of a Tomlin's debacle D. Tyrone says Lindsay, that's crazy talk. Mark Malone says probably why we haven't been able to trade him. I do want to say what's up to Steel.
But yeah, we can get a first and a second for him.
Yeah, I think that's coming up. I think somebody's going to reply to that. Let's go to Steelmatic Honda. What's up? Great seeing you back. He says, yo, welcome back to the Terrible Board. Love seeing you, Steelmatic Honda. I hope things are going well for you as we are just weeks away from camp. We are just a little over a month away from preseason. It's coming real fast. I know Steelmatic's ready for that. Let's continue right here to Ty. Ty says, Mark, nobody knows that. Lindsay says top 5, like I said, after Gonzo. Cody says Cooper DeJean had a pick 6 in the Super. I know. Believe me, I see him out there. He's making it happen at corner, which, again, let's go to Somber. Somber says completion rate. Lindsay says so 4, in my opinion. Steelmatic says JPJ has a 76 cover grade. Tyrone says, listen up, haters. Thanks, Mike. Steel Loyal says this. Mark pick an agenda. There it is, Mike. He's either mid or he's not. One comment you say we can get a first round. The next say he's mid. Make up your mind, Mark.
One is the printer toner talking. The other is the paint talking.
Yeah, that's just the appeal. That's just the appeal of Mark Malone. He is what he is. Let's go here to he's a top 20 corner is what Honda's saying. Let's go down to Mark. Mark says, I wish we could get a top 10 pick out of him. Tyrone says, G Honda, that was PFF. LOL. Stop it. Honda says JPJ wants 30 mil. Somber says, who the fuck is this guy? Mark Malone, I don't think even Detroit will give him 30. Tyrone says, G Honda, don't ever disrespect Porter like that. Top 20, please. He's top 5. Honda says this, Tyrone, bro, JPJ is not getting top money. Steel Loyal says, bro came in here with PFF stats like it would impress us. Tyrone says, what makes you think that he's not? Following up by saying, G Honda, get your stats right, bro. Cody says this, I bet all the players have at least 10 more interceptions than JPJ. All the guys on the list he's referring to, I'm sorry. Tyrone says, last time I checked, he's in the top 1 and 2 in most stats last year, which I don't know why. What they be watching. Honda says this, Tyrone Steelers are ranking him behind Quentin Mitchell. Mark Malone, he says those numbers are skewed from Tomlin's D. Vegas says JPJ wasn't in the top 25 in flags last year. And again, that's a big improvement. And again, if you would have used that argument years back, a couple of years ago, you would have been able to use that argument. Yeah. But again, the fact that even comes up without being in the context, Mike, of people saying, you know what, that number has really gone down. That shouldn't even be brought up anymore. It's something of the past. You told the guy he had to improve it, and he improved it. So again, if that comes up, the only thing people should say was, yeah, you're right, but he fixed that, and it hasn't been a problem since. So
he had, I think, 6 penalties against, and Surtain I think had 10 or 11.
So there you go. Another thing that makes the list.
And he's the best. He's the best, but yet he has more penalty yards than JPJ, and I think they had like the same amount of interceptions.
Mark Malone said they're not valid. Did Surtain only had 1 interception?
I think so.
Okay, that's interesting. I mean, if that's the case, that's very interesting.
Yeah. In my stats that I found, he had 1 interception, Stingley 4, Mitchell and Gonzalez each saying 0.
All right, so there you go.
That was a quick internet search, so I double check me if people want to, but that's just what I was able to.
So everybody on this list, Mike, I mean, again, can you really use interceptions as an argument, which people are, because at the end of the day, if Surtain had 1 and number 3, number 4 had 0, I mean, what's really going on if this isn't the case? If it's not the production, if it's not the turnovers, the interceptions, that really makes it makes it even crazier, in my opinion. Let's continue.
I was going to say, who was the corner in Dallas that had like a few years ago, like back-to-back seasons, like 6 or 7 interceptions? He always got burnt in coverage, but he had a shit ton of interceptions, and people were like, oh my god, this guy's great because he's getting interceptions. But you look at completion percentage against, and teams were just picking on him because you knew he'd get out of position. Yeah, he might pick you off, but more often than not, you're gonna get big gains on him. So interceptions they're awesome, they're great, but it doesn't tell the complete story of how good of a corner you are.
I agree. And like I said, like all these other players, with the exception of the one, has the same amount or less interceptions at JPJ. That really makes this interesting, and it really throws it out there. But again, we'll continue to try to figure it out. Let's go here. The original Yinzer Joe says this. Mikey says the Steelers' pass defense was horrible, and we're going to pay JPJ. Nah, I'm telling you, the refs just got tired of calling penalties on JPJ. That's why his stats show better. Let's continue down here to Ty. Ty says, okay, I don't know where you've seen that, but Mitchell is in top 5 talks. LOL. Is in top 5. Okay. Cody says, does he have more interceptions than any of them? And that's kind of what I'm looking at here, Cody. And as Mike's saying, I mean, nobody in the top 5 has great interceptions numbers, with the exception of, who was it, Mike Stingley? Yeah, Stingley.
Stingley, and I think Horn had 5.
And Horn is down at number 8. So, I mean, all the guys that are ahead of him have less interceptions. So, just a little bit more of a mystery. Let's continue down here. Let's go to Steel Loyal, I believe, is next on the list. Steel Loyal says, Yinzer Joe, you're running out of material. Honda says JPJ has 0 All-Pro selections. That's their main argument. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, get on Mark's level, Yinzer Joe. Tyrone says, you got to do better, bro. Probably because you be talking about 7th round picks too much. I fuck with you, but do better, reporter. Takes. Let's go to Mark Malone. We've got to stop the money bleed on the D. JPJ is the perfect place to start, is what Mark is saying. Tortilla says this, that list of DBs also let up 14 touchdowns this year. Again, Mike, compared to what JPJ is letting up,
Yeah.
you have to wonder again right there what's going on. Somber says this, Slay has, you know what, when I read this, Somber, that was the exact thing that I said. Wasn't Somber, wasn't Slay the guy that quit because he was no good anymore?
Yeah.
You know, he was on a Super Bowl team, and then he downgraded, went to the Steelers, wasn't any good, and then he downgraded, went somewhere else, and then decided he wasn't even going to play anymore. So that was my first thought. Again, at the end of the day, we'll look again what he says. And again, he didn't have much bad to say. Cody says this, covering DK isn't hard. He never catches the ball.
So real quick, T.J. Watt, Jack Sawyer, Brandon Echols had more interceptions than some of these corners rated above T.J. Watt, or rated above Joey Porter.
So Jack Sawyer, a rookie backup, had more interceptions than some of these guys on this top 10, is what you're saying.
Yeah, more than Denzel Ward, I'm saying. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go here. Let's go to Steel. Steelmatic says this, at Tyrone, bro, you can't be biased. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Go cover DK. Then Cody, I'd pay to watch that. Let's go back to Somber. Somber says, soft as baby shit. Tyrone, I'm sorry, he says, last time I checked, Stingley was ranked 2nd, and Porter had a better season than him. Mark Malone said Mexicans are pretty fast. Tyrone says, ain't biased, it's facts. It's why I be watching, LOL.
Yeah, Surtain had 1 interception. Same as Porter.
Let's go right here to Tortilla. Cody would just call him by his government name and get DK thrown out of the game. Maybe DK will punch him in the face.
I'd pay to see that.
Well, that part you'd pay for. You wouldn't pay for the race.
I'd pay to see it.
Let's go here to Cody. He says, I'll cover DK. He drops open passes too. Let's go here to Ty. I'm sorry. Yes, Ty. Ty says Herbig got 25%, or 25 per year. Sorry, LOL. Porter getting 28 plus. Lindsay says different positions. We clearly value our edges. Tyrone says, yeah, backup. LOL. Also following up by saying this, value our edges that get hurt 3 games a year. Yeah, I mean, it's all. Let's go, Coach T. Coach T's in the house. Got a mouthful of my D. Coach Tallman, always great seeing you on the terrible board, my man. Also, let's go here to Cody Somber. Are you from East Los Angeles? Are you born in East LA, man? Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says quarterback, tackle, cornerback, top 3 positions in football. Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Steelmatic Honda says that Tyrone, how come JPJ don't have any all-pro selections? And at the end of the day, I mean, these are valuable questions. These are they're legit, Mike, because on one hand, he is very good and he has great numbers. On the other hand, perhaps not as top of the list as some Pittsburgh fans might think. But where does he fall? If everything this side's saying is true and everything this side's saying is true, he should be somewhere. He's not anywhere. Everybody else that he's up against is on the list, and they have So again, a bit of a head scratcher. I'm like, let me get through some more of these messages. Go ahead, finish your thought, and then we'll.
For all pro selections, isn't that also voted on by the media? It's the NFL media, but they have agendas, they have biases.
Everybody though.
I don't know. Maybe we saw this with people with their votes for MVP. People like Drake May, so they weren't going to vote for Stafford. There were people like Stafford, so they weren't going to vote for Drake May. This stuff happens, and also too, Cam was an All-Pro. Did he play like an All-Pro all year? No.
And that's something I'm interested because Cam is tomorrow, Mike. They're going to come out with the positional rankings for the top 10 tomorrow for defensive tackles. So this one I'm curious about because, again, the way that, they tell us that he's a top 3 defensive tackle in the league and he's still this, he's still that at age 38 years old. I'm curious to see what comes out tomorrow on the list for defensive tackles. Is he going to be on the list? Is he going to be high on the list? Is he going to be somewhere on the list? So
same thing. We can say the same thing about Zach Frazier. He's talked about as being, arguably 1, 2, or 3 center in the league, and he doesn't have any All-Pro honors. So it's one of those awards too, kind of like the Pro Bowl. Once you get into it and into the recognition for it, it's hard for people to stop voting for you.
And that's, we talked about that earlier, Mike, with the Paul Skeens situation. Yeah. He's just getting voted. I mean, don't get me wrong, Paul Skeens having a good year, but at the end of the day, when you're 6-8,
yeah,
and you get in over other guys, but again, yes, his personal numbers are good. So
if you're a cornerback and you're locking people up and you're not getting a lot of interceptions, people aren't going to notice that because you're not running the other way with the ball. You don't have that eye-popping interception stat. But if you're breaking passes up, holding guys to one of the lowest incompletion or one of the lowest completion percentages in the NFL, that's not an eye-popping stat. Interceptions are eye-popping, and that's what people are going to look at. It's like, do you have that key stat? It's like, as a defensive player, like, oh, what are your sacks? Because guys will have like damn near 200 tackles, and they're not in discussion for Defensive Player of the Year.
That's what I'm saying.
But the guy who has 15 sacks is, and a hell of a lot less tackles. So it's all how you want to look at the position. Are you just going to look at the stats, or are you going to sit there and watch the film and dig deep into some of the other stats that are considered nerdy but tell a more complete picture?
I mean, you have to look at the whole package, in my opinion. You have to take everything when you're putting this stuff into consideration. But apparently, I don't know if that's what's going on, Mike. But let's continue on the board here. Let's move along. There's a lot still to get into regarding this information. Let's go right here to JPJ is one of the best. What Steelmatic Honda says. Sorry, let me grab a couple that I missed here. Lindsay, we clearly don't value our corners who can't catch interceptions. Tyrone says he doesn't need to. He don't need to. He don't allow touchdowns and barely gets the ball thrown his way. Coach T back in the house says this. One day it's my fault we suck. The next day it's my fault the players are too good. Y'all sound like my kids. Let's go to Steelmatic at Tyrone, bro. Dude would have been signed and prioritized. He's a great piece, but we'll only get about 20 to 25 million. And you know what? That's, again, the way that he's being viewed around the league, this could be a possibility, what Honda's saying. So let's go to Steel Loyal. Honda, you're so wrong, is what he's saying. So interesting. Let's go here to Tyrone. Mike Ty, what does he have to say? Tyrone says, right picks don't mean shit. LOL, they all don't get picks. They cover DPs. And everything that we're saying, guys, on this list of guys that are on the list don't have the picks. Yeah. So if that is, in fact, the case, what's going on? Steel Loyal Mike says almost comedic. Tortilla says give JPJ a 10-year, $250 million contract. Let's go down here a little bit more to Ty. Ty says this. There we go. Ty says, G Honda, crazy talk. He's getting 28 plus. Yinzer Joe says, I was thinking, I think it was Diggs in Dallas. Was it Diggs, Mike? A guy named Diggs, defensive player.
It was Bland. He had
yes, that's.
Then he had 9, and then after that, he just completely shit the bed.
That's right. I remember that.
Like, Nashawn Wright had 5 interceptions. Why isn't he talked about in the top 10? Dante Jackson had 4. Marlon Humphreys had 4.
Dante Jackson had a nice season.
Jackson, Mike Sandstrill, Kamari Lassiter. Jamal Dean had 3. He had more than a lot of these guys. Why weren't those guys talked up there if interceptions are like the main thing? So it's interceptions should, they're part of the whole story, but not the entire story.
Let's go right here, Mike, and see what's being said. Joe, I think it was Diggs in Dallas. Steel Loyal, you're just biased. You're just biased fan, and that is what Steelmatic Honda is saying. Also, Tyrone is saying Bland. That's who it was, Mike. Of course, Bland. Let's continue down here a little bit further. Tortilla, nah, man. The market says JPJ is getting close to 30 million. Tyrone says this. No, Honda, you just hating, bro. I even remember why I said he wasn't good at one point. So stop. Ty follows it up by saying you just don't know anything about Porter, bro. A couple more, Michael. We're going to get back to some topics here, some different things, but staying within the vicinity, of course, as it's a lot of folks talking, and again, rightfully so. And it's just because we're trying to figure out JPJ's contract and figure out this extension. And again, if he would have got taken care of when Herbig would have got taken care of, or he would have got taken care of when Darnell was getting taken care of, this wouldn't even be a topic, Mike. But just because we are just weeks away from camp, JPJ is still to sign his extension or figure out what's going on. And this report comes out, Mike, as it does every year. But the timing of this, we have to talk about this. We have to. Again, I'm trying to piece it all together myself, wondering what's going on. I'm trying to understand the list. And listen, I agree with a lot of what both sides are saying on different things, but it's just not making a whole lot of sense. Let's go down, continue further, Mike. Let's go to Honda says, I'm the realest dog, is what he's saying to Ty. Tortilla says it'll be 2032. A few of us will be gone, but the one thing that will remain is arguing about JPJ. That'll be the Steelers' 99th birthday, if you're keeping track. Tyrone says, that ain't my real dog, LOL. Tortilla says, I've never seen a dog that wasn't real. Let's go to, that ain't real, my dog. Okay, gotcha. That ain't real, my dog, is what he's saying. Honda, he says, I know, bro, the tactic Steelers are going to use against him to not pay him. Lindsay says, exactly, Mike. Let's go to Tyrone. He says this, they will pay him. He's worth the most, so he's last. The Steelers always do it in July. And I agree. And I think, that's why it did go in this order, of course. But just very interesting, again, how this played out in this list, this annual list by ESPN of grading positions. Just interesting at the timing of that. Let's go here to Tortilla. Steeler addicts are drilling potholes in the roads to make people crash and cause traffic. So JPJ will take a $3 million pay cut. Hey, them potholes are doing pretty good on their own. Honda says, Tyrone, when did I say JPJ wasn't good? You wildin', bro. Tortilla says, yeah, Tyrone. Shh. Let's go to Ty. Ty says this. He says, on your podcast, you said he was mid and that the only reason he did good was because our D-line were dumb, some dumb shit like that. Joe says, anybody can cover a receiver that doesn't catch the ball. Then you get credit for the pass defense. Wonder how all the DBs ranked against DK. Tortilla says, DK got to take that visor off so he can see. Steel Loyal says, Yinzer Joe, just stop. Joe says, Sanders made the Pro Bowl before JPJ. He did. In all fairness, he did. But in all fairness, it really wasn't fair because he didn't belong in that situation. But you know what I'm saying. Sure, Dor Sanders was, in fact, a Pro Bowler last year. Let's go to this. Lindsay says DK will be fine. This year, he was getting double most of the games last year and barely had help. And you know what? This year, with having more weapons on offense, in theory, should, in fact, fix that. And again, like leave DK in situations where he could be more productive on offense. So, again, it's all playing together. Things are looking good, I believe, on our end. Grab a couple more here. Corey, don't drink that says that. Joe, people don't throw to a receiver who's covered. Brother, laughed my ass off. So if the ball isn't going to this guy, it's because he's covered, like stink on shit. So it kind of invalidates your argument. Let's go to Honda. He says this at Tyrone, dude. It ain't Richard Sherman or Revis Island. He's good, but if he was like that, he would have gotten an All-Pro nod, at least one. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says this, Mike. By all logic, Nashon Wright is better than JPJ. Mm-hmm. Tyrone says this, we should have last year. If you just actually watched, you would know. Relax. Tortilla Steel says, Yinzer Joe, people hating me right now. Cody says Cam played like a top 2 for sure. And that's just, I'm very curious to see where they put him, Cam, tomorrow. That's going to be interesting. Mark Malone says Cam top 10. Porter mid, number 1 cornerback. Tortilla says refax somber right now, LOL. And I'm just going to grab one more. And then we're going to get to some stuff. Tyrone says, nobody said he was Sherman Revis level, LOL. As of right now in the NFL, he's top 5, bro. Honda says this. He says, more people are fans more than the students of the game. More people are fans more than students of the game. And let me grab Kevin right here. Sorry, y'all. I have to go. I'm not feeling too hot. That's all right, my man. Go get better.
Dude.
We got football coming up right around the corner, and we can't have you missing that. Just kidding, man. Go get yourself better. It's all good. No hard feelings. We'll see you next time. Thanks, Kev. All right, guys. Let's continue to talk about this, Mike. This again. Let's get into a little bit of what was said. Let's get into the response. Let's talk about where this is going to affect the contract work. A lot of stuff, again, Mike, as the ESPN positional ratings are coming out this week, the rankings for each position. Monday, they talked about running backs. Tuesday, they talked about corners, which, of course, is what we're talking about heavily today. The edges, the rankings on the edges comes out today, which we already got. TJ Watt does make the list number 7, Mike, and it goes on. Defensive tackles tomorrow, tight ends the next day, then offensive tackles, interior offensive linemen, quarterbacks, off-ball linebackers, wide receivers, safeties. Mike, what's your thoughts on this just altogether? Where is your brain with everything that's going on with these lists, and how is this going to affect things?
Um, I don't think it's going to affect any of the contract negotiations because these are based on observations from all over the NFL. Usually, when you pay a guy, you pay him how you value him. Obviously, the Steelers value Darnell Washington as a number 1 tight end, and I guarantee you, when the tight end list comes out, he's not going to be in the top 10 list. The Steelers are paying DK Metcalf $32 million a year, and he's not going to be on that top 10 list. Nick Herbig got signed a monster contract, and he was nowhere near the top 10 edge rusher list. So it's all going to be based on how the team themselves value Joey Porter Jr. So if the
Mike,
Steelers
let me ask you
him,
something. Where do you value him? Where do you put him as Mike, as you're watching the games and reading the statistics and putting it all together? And I mean, you have a little bit more of an extensive knowledge of him just being a Penn State fan. Where do you have him as far as dollar range goes, trying to move forward and get this contract situation figured out?
If I'm the Steelers, because he's coming up before some of these other guys in the contracts, I'm gonna, if need be, if I have to pay him the highest one right now, I'm going to pay him the highest one right now because I know there's Witherspoon coming up and I know there's Gonzalez coming up. And that's going to force those two teams to spend more money on him. And that's what I would do. If you value him as your true number 1 corner, a lockdown corner, a cornerstone piece of this defense, you don't let him walk out the door. We've been trying to find a corner that can lock someone down since Ike Taylor retired. And now we have someone who plays a similar style to Ike Taylor of locking guys down. Yeah, he doesn't get a lot of interceptions, but he's shutting down everyone else. He's shutting down all the big dogs. If we always say, if Ike Taylor could catch a ball, he'd be in the Hall of Fame right next to Darrell Revis. He was that good. And Porter is that good as these guys too. He just doesn't get a lot of interceptions. So if you have to reset the market, because otherwise, guess what? Someone else will reset it, and now you might have to overpay. I've been saying this for a couple of weeks now. Overpay now, because in a year, it's going to be in a bargain. In 2 years, it's going to be an even bigger bargain on this guy. Because get him done now, get him locked up. If you have to pay a little bit more upfront now, go ahead and do it.
Mike, 3 positional ranking days. Again, Monday, running backs. Yesterday, cornerbacks. Today, edge rushers. The Pittsburgh Steelers have one player out of 30 at top positions this year, according to Jeremy Fowler in his annual ESPN positional rankings. So there you go. Just interesting. Don't know what this entirely means, Mike, but let me take a second. There was, I guess it looks like halftime-ish right here, Mike. Let me just jump to something. I do want to share just this information real quick before we do move on. These are some key upcoming dates, Mike, in the NFL. August 30th. August 30th is the cut-down day for all rosters. So just know, with preseason coming up just a little over a month away, the Green Bay Packers right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, are 1 month and 5 days away. Once those 3 games wrap up, Mike, on August 30th, the cut-down day with all the rosters is going to be August 30th, and that is going to be down to 53. You got to get down to 53.
90 to 53 in one
90
day.
to 53. Also, Mike, just future down the road, Tuesday, November 10th is the trade deadline this year. If you want to circle that on your calendar, the trade deadline is November 10. Mike, the Super Bowl will be on no other than Valentine's Day this year, February 14th.
Wow.
Come on, what better day to have a Super Bowl victory than have a romantic reunion between the Vince Lombardi Trophy and the Pittsburgh Steelers? Exactly. Come on, Valentine's Day, Mike, and then next year, scouting combine will be March 1st to March 8th. Free agency will begin on March 9th this year. The owners' meeting will be from the 21st to the 24th. That's in Phoenix, Arizona. And the draft, of course, is April 29th through the 1st of May in Washington, D.C. Just a little update of all the important dates that are coming up in the NFL, not particularly the Steelers. Steelers' important dates, guys, they're showing up in St. Vincent College in Latrobe here in Western Pennsylvania, over in Westmoreland County, Mike, on the 28th of this month. That's just less than 3 weeks away, if you can even believe that. The 29th. 3 weeks, Mike, you do have the Steelers starting camp. On the 3rd of August, it's going to be pads. On August 8th, it's going to be Saturday Night Lights. It used to be Friday Night Lights. It's Saturday Night Lights now. And the 17th, Mike, that is the wrap-up of camp. As they will be into that first week of preseason, getting ready to play the second game, Mike. So again, this is how close we are. It's really unbelievably close. And then after you get the preseason, you're watching all the things that you want to see. How does our quarterbacks, the young quarterbacks, look? How does all these corners look? How does these new players look? How does our offense look? All these things we're going to be keeping a close eye on, because this is flying. We're going to be playing, Mike, the Atlanta Falcons right here in Pittsburgh, just 67 days from right now. The kickoff is going to be going on. And Mike, right at the top of the running back list here.
I was about to say.
Bijan. So, Mike, not many other players so far by Atlanta, but that gentleman will be here in Pittsburgh 67 days from right now.
I can't wait to play against him again. We shut him down the last time we played down there in Atlanta. Hopefully we can do it again. But that guy is he's so much fun to watch. He reminds you of Le'Veon Bell, the way he runs. He's a damn good player. It sucks that he's on a shitty team. I wish he could escape them the way Saquon escaped the Giants, was able to go to Philly. I'd love to see Bijan run as far and as fast from the Falcons as he can to go to a legit team with a legit offensive line.
Absolutely, Mike. We're going to touch a little bit more on this topic of the day. We have a lot more to get into. We got to get to the board. So let's just kind of start wrapping up the controversy today. That is JPJ. Mike, this is what was said by Darius Slay. Of course, we dabbled in this earlier. Darius Slay coming out and saying a lot of great things about JPJ, basically praising him, which, it's all right, that's all good, Mike. But the thing, he says this, the only problem, he says, everything was good. There was all praise except for the ball production, of course, the turnovers we're talking about, which I don't think anybody could disagree with that. Yeah. But Mike, he calls JPJ's hands sus, and then also kind of makes a comparison to a past former Steeler that some consider a great shutdown guy. He has a couple of Super Bowl rings under his on his fingers. Like, catching strays in this whole thing is poor Ike Taylor. Ike the Nubs Taylor. Ike Taylor a little pissed about this, Mike.
I get where Ike's coming from. Like, you're sitting there, you're catching strays. But, Ike, that's the truth, man. You were known for having stone hands. It's just embrace it, brother. You couldn't catch a ball. You couldn't catch a cold. When you did, we celebrated because we knew it was like a Christmas miracle. I saw Ike's comments too. Yeah, Ike was a little heated, but it's a fair scouting report on you, Ike.
No, it's nothing is being said that's not true. That's the thing. Yeah. I mean, if he's going to get upset, dude, you had a successful career. You played in the NFL a long time. He was a shutdown corner. You have Super Bowl rings. I can see you taking it personal in a way, but at the end of the day, I mean, Ike did a lot of great things while he was here, Mike. There's nothing written here that wasn't true.
Yeah, but it's probably one of those things he's probably heard like his entire football career.
I know.
And you got to be. He's probably in his late 30s, early 40s. Probably fucking tired of hearing it right now. So he just like, I get it. You you hear the same thing over and over. Like, just shut the fuck up. I know. But hey, Mike, you're bald. Fuck yeah, I know. Fuck yeah, I know. Same thing.
Is that the equivalent of that?
Embrace it. Like, I embrace the baldness. Embrace your stone hands, brother.
And again, at the end of the day, he could always just grab them Super Bowl rings and say, you know what, bro, I did my thing. And it shows you that you didn't have to have a great Darrelle Revis type seasons or whatever to be what he became. Again, Mike, couple times Super Bowl winner. That's impressive. That's a win in my book.
The old Patrick Wall, when people start talking shit on you, go, hey man, I can't hear you. I put my two championship rings in my ears. Hey, what are you saying? That's all you got to do. Like, you're like Ryan said, you're a 2-time Super Bowl champion. Just look at those rings. You can catch those.
Right.
You just put it on your finger, brother.
I mean, here's the thing. You're never going to have everybody that always agrees with you. You're never going to have everybody that always likes what you're doing. And at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like you just gotta live and learn and live and more, Mike. That's all you can
Yeah,
really
but
do.
I guarantee you, for like 20 some odd years, that's all he heard is he can't catch it, and he just finally had enough.
And he probably can, and as you said, he continues to still hear it. So what do
But
you
he
do?
is catching strays. He can't catch footballs, but he can catch strays.
Hey, what's he catching them footballs with? That's what I want to know.
I know, right?
I mean, what's he catching the strays with? Is what I want to know. I'm sorry about that.
Little nubs.
With the nubs. Mike, I think I had one more thing kind of regarding. Let me see if I can't find it real quick. If not, we will move along. Right here. Speaking of not being able to catch, now this was being said, Mike. This morning I'm reading. As a matter of fact, Kabuli made this comment. Like he says, everything that Roman Wilson talking about somebody not getting the option. What's his problem? Maybe he can't catch it. This is what was said this morning, Mike. Everything he does, his work ethic, his practice habits, everything on the practice field is amazing, which is what I hear. This isn't the first time I'm hearing this.
Yeah.
But then he says Roman just can't transfer it to the football field. And then I tried picturing it in my head. I see somebody focused. I see somebody running routes that he learned from the route god, catching balls from the bucket. And then he walks out on the football field and he's like, you know what I mean? This is what has to be happening.
Yeah. It's like he forgets how to play.
Bro, you just crossed a white line. What's the problem here?
But the thing is, though, like last year, like giving
that's the level of this shit. Like, how could it even be like this?
But like the thing is that like when we saw him last year, like when they targeted him, he was running some really good routes, got the ball early, and then fumbled, and then that was the last time they ever threw the ball to him. So I don't know what is true and what is not true when it comes to Roman Wilson.
I know.
Because you could turn on the film and you watch him play, like, dude's finding soft spots in zones. He's beating his man. You're giving him the ball in space. He's making people miss. He's picking up yardage, showing some flash, showing some speed. So, like, is it just people throwing out conjecture on Roman Wilson, trying to figure out what's going on? Because we really don't know. And, it is, like Mike McCarthy said, the slate has been wiped clean. And I'm willing to give Roman a fresh shot this year. And I'm throwing out all preconceived thoughts and notions on Roman once we get the training camp.
I have been all along. Again, it's just one of these wait and see. I can't wait till next month to see how he plays in preseason, and maybe he could build off of that. And under new coaching staff and coordinator, Mike, it could very well be different. Yeah, and a lot of things that we just assume are going to be certain ways, we can't really do that anymore. Things got predictable. They got a little stale. I think everybody could agree with that. But again, under new staff, new coordinators, new everything, new scheme, it's very hard, Mike, to kind of go into this as well. We know how this is going to go. We know how that's going to go. I mean, as far as personnel, you know what the skill talent is, the skill level, but Mike, we don't know what it is we're going to see on the football field come September and all the way through the winter. And it's just very interesting, Mike. And again, it all starts a little less than 3 weeks at camp. And then, Mike, 1 month, 5 days, first preseason game, Green Bay, right here, national television. All 3 preseason Steeler games are going to be nationally televised. In case you're not from town, guys, it's going to make things good for you. We love that. Let's talk about a few other things. Like we're going to go off of topic from the main topic today for a little while, just because I came across some other things that I found interesting today, and I think that you will find interesting as well. Just a couple of things here. Former Steelers saying this. We talked about what Bussy said. We talked about what Willie Colon said. Let's talk a little bit about what James Harrison and Joe Hayden, of course, former Steelers from our past, Mike, the defensive players. These guys said this. Debo says Pittman will have a career year. Pittman will have a career year. And Joe Hayden, Mike, says this. He says the offense will be light years ahead under Mike McCarthy. So again, Mike, a lot of a lot of optimism from former Steelers. Today we talked about 2 offensive players, 2 defensive players, and they're all buying into it. Is this because there's former Steelers, or does these guys really see something here that they're putting you can put weight into?
I think it's they're liking what they're seeing from this coaching staff and the way they put the team together, and the way you can visualize like the Mike McCarthy offense is ran. They both played against offenses that ran that similar style offense. They know what you're going to get out of Aaron Rodgers. You know what you're going to get out of the guys around him. So it's kind of easier for them to extrapolate with all that data, like, okay, this is how this offense should look. And I'm right there with them. I'm very optimistic with this offense. And like, I think Pittman, like this guy right here was like one of the sneaky offseason additions. And for him to have a career year, his best year he had 1,100 yards, and then his best touchdown year was 7 touchdowns. And he had that last year, so he's gonna have to have like 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns to have a career year. I think that's going to be a lot to ask in this system, just for how many mouths we have to feed.
Mike, do you agree that he did? Listen, talking about opportunities and him getting the opportunities to have this kind of season. Now, Indianapolis, of course, they've had their issues. They had quarterback trying to find, we thought Danny Dimes was the guy. Danny Dimes certainly isn't the guy, obviously. He had some Phillip Rivers tossing the ball around to him, some Anthony. I mean, there's all different kind of issues. Maybe just this offense having a little bit more of a solid idea of what it is that Michael Pittman is going to be in this offense, and an Aaron Rodgers where Indianapolis didn't quite have an Aaron Rodgers mind and eyes to see the field, see things. So perhaps he could excel here because of those things. Where in Indianapolis, and listen, I'm not saying that this is the greatest situation for players right now, but again, having the situation that the Steelers do have, I do believe is a better situation for a receiver coming in like Michael Pittman than it was in Indianapolis.
Hey, I do too. Like you have much better quarterback play, big time. You actually have a veteran back there who knows what he's doing. Like I think he overlapped with Flacco, and it was like he's probably the best quarterback that threw to him. And now he's getting Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers at the end of his career, but we saw, given time, what Aaron Rodgers can do. He can still throw that ball all over the field. And now you get Pittman out there, and he's going to have DK on the opposite side, 2 really good tight ends working, with him. So he's coming into a really good offense.
Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think our offense is so much more talent than the offenses that Indy had at that time. I like Michael Pierce, but I don't think he's as good as DK Metcalf. Now they had a better running game, but quarterback play and the rest of the receiver talent around him, I think, can help him.
I'm looking at this, Mike. You're talking about Pittman coming. Rodgers just being a different beast. I mean, working with Rodgers, and you can even go back to what Adam Thielen just recently said, Mike.
Yeah.
Adam Thielen said, Aaron Rodgers, he made me feel like a rookie. The guy is so into what he does. He's so knowledgeable. He's so, he wants to make things better on the team. And Adam Thielen just come out and said, I felt like a rookie around this dude. Adam Thielen just retired last year after playing a long, successful career in Minnesota for the most of his career. And Aaron Rodgers makes him feel like a rookie. He says, that's the most stressed I've ever been while being a football player. Mike, and remember, this is the last 2 games of the season of his for his retirement. Yeah. He's saying this, Mike, I felt like a rookie. I've never been so stressed, but that's good stuff. That's what you want your leader to be. You want him to be in your shit. You want him to be teaching you. You want him to be trying to figure out how to make you better. And you know what I mean? And so those are the things that we're hoping certainly to see on this offense. Me, not so much with the young quarterbacks. A lot of people's talking about, he's going to learn. Yes, they are going to learn from Aaron Rodgers, and good for them. But I don't want to hear about it until I see it. Yeah. I don't want to keep hearing about why Drew Aller is going to be better because he works with Aaron. I don't care. Let me see it in next month, and if it pans out, then it pans out. But for the offense, yes, I do care about that overall because, again, this is our offense. These kids are the future. They have years to go. I'm curious about how this year is going to go because our quarterback's going to walk out onto this field for the last time in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform at the end of the season, whenever it is, whether it be at the end of the season, whether it be in the playoffs, whether it be after the Super Bowl. So that's where my concern is. I want him to be able to make this team as best as it can be. We have one run. It could be a magical one. It could be a JB walking off. It could be a Ray Lewis walk off. It could be like a lot of these quarterbacks, Tom Brady, they walk off. It could be that, Mike. I believe this team is good enough. And again, with a different system in play that the league isn't used to, that the league can't prepare for like this on a drop of a dime. Mike, I feel confident. And again, I want to see him doing these things that he's being talked about doing. Adam Thielen felt like a rookie. He was more stressed. I like it. You know what? But is that, let me ask you that. One more question in this regard when we will move on. Now, is this particular, what we're talking about right here, is this something that could be affecting Roman Wilson in a way? Is he possibly being left back in a sense because Aaron is so thorough. Again, you don't learn page 1. It's hard to catch up on page 67. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
Is that a case of what could possibly be going on with
it could be because remember Calvin Austin in the interview with New York, he was like, yeah, like, a dart will let me, well, hey man, just get close to the area, I'll find you. Where he said Rogers, like, hey, if this is where you're supposed to be, this is where I expect you to be. And Calvin's like, we all learned that. Like, there's no deviation. You get to the spot, the ball's going to be there. You better be ready for the ball. And and that's just the way he plays quarterback. And there's other quarterbacks like, get to the area, I'll find you, I can do this. And you got guys like Peyton Manning, probably I think Brady was the same way, and Aaron Rodgers like, no, this is where you need to be. We're playing on time, we're playing in rhythm, and I want to get the ball out of my hand. So you need to be there. And that could be a problem for Roman Wilson. Maybe just those little things. Because you see he has the athletic talent and stuff to do it. So it could just be a slight thing in timing. He could just be a little bit slow getting in and out of breaks and stuff like that. That's holding him back.
Mike, would you want to be on the opposite end of a pass that whizzes past your head, and then you turn around to look and you see somebody going like this at you? Believe me, I don't want to see this. I'm listening. I'm listening full speed. And again, possibly if this is what's going on with Roman, it's a possibility, Mike, because again, year 1, he was injured most of the year, so we can't. You have to really start wondering what happened in year 2 with Roman. And I think if you're trying to find that answer, I'm going to get back on the board, Mike. We do have more to get into today, and I do apologize, but as we did skip, we moved topics, I'm going to scoot down a ways on the board. Let me grab a couple here, and then I'm going to move down. But you know that I do read them all every day. Just right here, Maddox is saying this. Steel Maddox is saying, Kevin, speedy recovery, brother. Absolutely. Tyrone, take care, Kevin. Tortilla, drink some water, Kev. Everybody is certainly got Kevin in their best wishes. So do get better, my friend. We'll see you back on the show. With that being said, I am going to scoot down here, guys. The board is banging today. I do thank everybody. And again, I apologize. I'd like to get everything read out loud on the air. Today, it's going to be a little difficult, and I read them all every day, believe me. So let me jump right here, guys, to right here, Mike, to Vegas, where he says something funny. He says this. He says, Kaboli's resting face is weird as fuck. Did you see when he fell asleep at the Mike Tomlin press conference? Talking about a resting face.
I wasn't sleeping. I was resting my eyes.
And then he went out and his car was stuck in the mud because it was too heavy. Whatever his deals are, I don't care. They are his problem. Steel Loyal says top 5 in almost every single statistic, 5.8 impact grade. Ranked number 1 in impact grade in the entire league is what Steel Loyal is saying, Mike. Tortilla is saying this. We drafted Roman so the Browns wouldn't get him. Mark Malone says the only way to fully embrace male pattern baldness is to grow a scarlet. Mike, I agree. Mark is every once in a while he says something that makes a lot of sense.
Every once in a while.
Let's do a move right here to Steelmatic. Says the league is devaluing JBJ with these rankings because of his cover grade shows he's a top 5. Let's go here to Vegas, looking like a bowling ball wearing a hula skirt. Steel Loyal says, never give up a TD. Name another corner in the league you could say that about. Tyrone says this. Lockdown Loyal dude held Chase to 30 yards, St. Brown to 40, and Collins before he got hurt in the third quarter at 20 yards. Only one that came to play in that playoff game, 3 years, no touchdowns. That is insane. Honda says Steel. I said that earlier. Corey, don't drink that, says got too excited whenever he got a shot and fumbled. Mike Tomlin said, sit your dumb ass down. And the thing is, he caught a lot of, every pass that came his way, he caught in the small doses that you've seen over the past couple years. That's the one thing that's going to stick out in everybody's head, unfortunately, is that fumble. Same with Caleb Johnson. And listen, I don't think he wasn't consistent in doing anything in small doses, but you know what? That one mistake against Seattle last year, I mean, if that defined his season, his career for that matter, that would suck, man. That would suck for the young man. Let's continue right here. Let's go to Steel. Steelmatic says, don't facts. He says Jeremy Bernard won't choke. Vegas says hopefully he won't kidnap anyone either. Tyrone says Jeremy is him. I can't wait to see him, bro. Tortilla says at Steel. Gonzalez, Mitchell, DeJean didn't let up any score. Didn't let up a score this year. I don't know about last year or the year before. I'm too lazy to check. Steel Loyal says they have in the past. Tortilla says, yeah, I thought so. Steel Loyal says speech to texting. I'm like, yeah, be careful, man. Tyrone says, I think year 2 they did. Steel says this, that 12-13 personnel is going to be hell for everyone we play. Mark Malone, these guys know Tomlin was holding the team back. Steel Loyal says, whoa, Mark, chill. You're making sense. We can't have that, Mark. Come on.
You got to pick a lane. Either make sense or be crazy.
Yeah. This is what makes him an enigma. He does both sometimes. Let's go here. Steel says that Mark Malone, only because we didn't have sufficient offensive weapons. Tyrone says, I'm glad Tomlin is gone and his coaching tree is ass. Steel Loyal says chess player as a stretch, buddy. Didn't adjust anything, and chess is all about adjusting. Cody says Thielen caught that look, that no look pass last. Yeah, I'd say he better. Jeez, oh man. Mike Tomlin says I'm in the trees. Yinzer Joe says Tomlin held them back? ? I doubt it. It was the age of the play of the players. If we go less than 10-7 again, can we put the Tomlin hate behind us? I don't know if it's hate. We haven't won a playoff game in a decade. Again, a different argument for a different day. Let's continue forward. Right here, Maddox says this. Still loyal as far as the pieces that he had to work with. He still walked out with winning seasons. Tyrone says Honda maybe from 2007 to 17 after that our defenses were his ass. Then in 19 to 22 was average. Then back to shit. He was average, never changed stuff, and didn't play rookies. Vegas says Peyton Wilson. Still loyal. Go ahead, Mike.
That was a good one.
It was a good one.
I was chuckling at that one.
Steel Loyal says, I don't give a fuck about winning seasons. Giving up 200 yards rushing a game is what stands. That surely stood out to me, too. Honda says Tyrone Tomlin did not have adequate talent, though. Ty says Tomlin's scheme was outdated. That's for sure. Let's continue right here to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says, whose fault was that? Funny the moment Tomlin is gone, our roster becomes full of talent.
What? The talent was already here.
I don't know.
Tyrone, a lot of these guys were drafted under Tomlin.
There you go. Tyrone said he got the players he wanted, though. Steel Loyal says Tomlin's ego didn't allow him to go pick up playmakers. He wanted to beat people with what he had, which is a terrible way to go about it nowadays. That's the Steeler way. If we were talking about the old Steeler way, that's certainly the old Steeler way, but times have changed. You're right. Tyrone says true loyal roster is good, best since 2018. Honda says I hated when we got Arthur Smith. Definitely hurt the offense. Following up by saying clearly best roster we've had. Definitely an offense. Yeah, I mean the offense. You have to be happy that we have something. You have to be happy that we have a wide receiver too. I mean we went seasons without that. I'm very happy with some of these things that are going down now. Couple more, Mike. We do have a few more things we're going to get into today. Let's go right here. Steel Loyal says Roman Wilson has a 0.0 dropper. I was going to say he doesn't drop passes. Those small doses that he gets opportunities, he catches them. Tyrone, I think defense 2 safety better in cornerbacks and D line. G Honda 100. Let's go here to Honda. Honda says this. He says Roman needs to improve himself more efficient. Needs to prove himself more efficient. I'm sorry, you're still loyal. I agree, Honda. I got faith in him, but show us. Got to show us, man. You don't got to show us. You got to show your coaches. Show somebody. Let's go right here. Yinzer Joe says the roster has to be motivated by the coach. I believe they are older and feel privileged just to play. They no longer have to play for their position anymore. Mark Malone says, let me take another rip off this Krylon, would you? I'm making too much sense. Come on, hold on, guys.
Big rips.
Let me grab Corey here. Corey says that's still Matic. He's running out of time to prove himself. I hope they find use for him. I hate seeing guys not get real in game opportunities because of mistakes. Everyone fumbles every now and then. And if a guy never dropped a single pass, I think you'd give him a little bit of leeway. Tomlin says the tree won't grow if you sit in it, if you sit on it. Is that a Tomlinism? Let's go here to Steelmatic. Steelmatic says Roman had so much promise after winning the Natty, just as Will Howard did, but the efficiency and production must translate. Go right here to Cody. Cody says Tyrone, Chris Harris won 35 games without allowing a touchdown until Antonio Brown lit his ass up with 16 receptions, 189 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Tortilla says Tomlin pause. Honda says don't. 100 at don't at Corey. Tater bang bang. There's Tater in the house. Also Tortilla. 53 players on the roster. 49 in the ER. Let's go here to Honda. He says very increment doses. And Steel Loyal says Darnell lost 47 pounds. No, Darnell took the field in the league. Lost 47 pounds. Mike, a few more things let's get into this today. Mike DeFabio says that Patrick Graham is the most intriguing newcomer. Mike has, and this is something, again, I'm hoping that I'm shown this.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, he was, and again, I'm sure somebody's going to say, well, he was this position, his defense was this, but at the end of the day, they were the team that he was the defensive coordinator on last year was the 32nd best team in the league.
Yeah.
And I get it. People are going to say, well, he was this, he was that. At the end of the day, he was the defensive coordinator on the 32nd best team in the league. Mike, it is being said in this particular article, he's saying that Patrick Graham is the most intriguing newcomer. You agree with that?
I do. It's because, like you said, the teams he has been coaches for, the teams overall have been terrible. And the defenses haven't been eye-popping, but you look at their talent that they have and what he was able to get out of that talent is encouraging. You know, like just having really one good player on the Raiders and where they finished statistically, like how did he do that with like more or less Max Crosby and Landon Roberts last year, and Max Crosby and the white linebacker Spillane? Like, how was he able to do that with just more or less 2 guys? Now he's coming here with a shit ton of talent at all 3 levels of the defense. Now, you're like, okay, now he has talent. Let's see if he is as good as people are saying he is because of what he was able to do with the limited amount of talent. So, yeah, his reputation as being this miracle worker for defenses that are under talented and undermanned is going to be put to the test because now he more or less has all the resources he needs to put together a top flight defense. And if it falls flat, it's going to land squarely at his feet because he's coming in as this guy that does great things with minimal talent. Now you got all pros, you got former defensive players of the years, you got rising stars at key positions on the defense. There's a lot of pressure, and I'm intrigued to see what he can do.
Mike, if this defense finishes lower than last year's defense, yeah, what if that's the reality? Because again, at the end of the day, we're all assuming that things are going to be better. As Steele was writing in the comments, as I thought that they would be coming in, Graham had the Raiders ranked 14th in the league with Crosby, Franklin, and Turtle Mike. So again, at the end of the day, it's all optimism. People were saying, you know what, the defense is going to be better because of Patrick Graham. What at the end of the day, the defense is worse off than it was last year. What do we do then?
And then it's going to be like, okay, do you scrap the coach? Do you scrap players? Do you do a little bit of both right there? Because you're going to say, defense is still underperforming, and we've had these players on here and look at, are these players still underperforming? So do we jettison them, keep the coach, and get new players? You jettison the players, jettison the coach, bring in a new defensive coordinator and different defensive players. It's going to be some very uncomfortable conversations to be had if this defense is worse than last year's, and we shit on this defense last year for their poor play. If that continues from last year to this year, it's going to be a long season.
And at the beginning of last year, all the talk was how great this defense is going to be. This defense is going to do amazing things. It's going to be historical, and it didn't play out that way. So again, let's see what the hell happens. Let's see if Patrick Graham is what can turn this around. Maybe it is time to get rid of some of the baggage, like some of the extra weight on defense, some of the older guys. Not because we don't love them, not because they're not our favorite players, Mike. But at the end of the day, it's just going to be time for the team to improve and get younger. And again, that's unfortunately for people that are fans of some of the older guys. This is just the steps that it takes. And when one can say, "Well, we're doing it with quarterback," yes, we're not married to the quarterback, though. If you pay half of your money on your damn team, the two guys, this is a situation we have. So again, Mike, they have to stay. They have to at least play at the level they played last year and better. And I think even playing at the level that they played last year, people are going to be disappointed. So in theory, this team, the defense has to improve. Patrick Graham has to improve this defense, Mike. It's not. It has to be done.
Yeah, we're like either the number one, number one and number two highest paid defense in the league. Because I know at one point last year we were taking over for number one, but whatever. We should be at minimum a top 5 defense. That's what we expected last year. Fell way short of it. And this year it should be a top 5 defense based off the talent, based off the payroll, and then based off of what we projected this coach to do for what he's done in the past and what we're being sold, what this guy can do. So, yeah, anything outside of a top 5 defense, you're going to have to start questioning, did they live up to their hype? Now, if they finish top 10 and we have a good run, I'll take that. But, like, the bar should be high. This is Pittsburgh, where the standard is to go out and win and be the best. So the bar's got to be there on this defense because that's where the majority of your talent is. That's where the vast majority of your salary cap is being invested. There should be a lot of pressure on that defense. There should be a lot of pressure on some of these veterans, too, that have been here a long time, who have been part of this equation that keeps coming up short.
Let's grab a couple of messages here. Cody says Patrick Graham got swagger. Steel Loyal follows it up by saying Graham got the old school hip hop swagger for real. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I like him so much.
But is that going to translate into results?
I don't know. Let's go right here to Corey.
I hope it does.
Let's go to Steel Lawyer. Says I was skeptical when I heard those words come from Thornhill last year, as was I. But again, you bring in all this talent, you think, oh, geez, we should be better. I mean, you brought in corners, you brought in the safeties, you brought in a lot of different help last year, and again, got the same exact results. So I'm on a see it to believe it thing with our defense, and I hope this Patrick Graham thing works out. I really do, because the defense does need to get better. The defense has to get better. We shouldn't be giving up 38 points or whatever the hell we gave up in the playoff game, especially if we're struggling against the defense. That's a recipe for a loss every time. If you're playing a good defense like Houston, for example, then your defense got to be able to do their job as well and keep them off the board, because if you're going to have trouble scoring, which we may against some of these teams that have better defenses. So, the whole team overall, Mike. But again, Patrick Graham is the topic right now. Let's go to what Corey says. This is my issue with talking about how good or bad coordinators are. They are bad coordinators. Then you have there are bad coordinators, and then you have victims of circumstances. It's true. Tortilla says Patrick Graham has no speed. Let's go here to Steel Loyal. Fact Tortilla, he probably runs like a 7 flat slow. Let's go.
So I'm faster than Patrick Graham.
I haven't seen that yet either. I'm seeing no evidence of that either.
6.65. They're saying 7. 6 is faster than 7.
I think that's a stretch, Mike. If you make 7, I think I would be still surprised. But
if I could run like a 13-second 40, I would be happy.
This is where I'm thinking. This is ballpark.
Like, my ankles only move this way. I have no side-to-side flexibility. My knees are gimpy and locked up. It's not a pretty sight.
Let's go to Corey, Mike. Corey says, for example, if you have a lot of talent as a defensive coordinator, but your offensive coordinator can't put it all together, then the defense has to carry you more weight on his side of the ball. Then you have truly shitty defenses like Cincinnati. Cody says, hopefully Patrick Graham doesn't tell the DBs to play outside leverage. Corey, don't drink that. The issue is that nobody looks at it like that. It's too black and white. I did mess something up a second ago, and I don't know if I went too far. I did want to correct myself. Yes, right here. The Steel Loyal comment, I did mess up still. I apologize. He says, Darnell lost 47 pounds. No, Darnell took the field in the defense. The league lost 47 linebackers, not pounds. They lost 47 linebackers. I like that, and that's true, and I can't wait to continue to see him just devour people, Mike, just run people over. Let's go here to Tide says, I got faith in Patrick Graham. Steel Loyal says, come on, dude, outside leverage the whole game. The D line will bat the ball down. Steelmatic Honda says, Dalen Everett, Boykin, RSJ provides speed in the secondary and special teams 100%. Tyrone says this, and McCarthy and this whole offense, the offensive line coaches to develop these young guys. Dude says if Graham doesn't tackle, bench him early. Let's go to Steelmatic. He says Steel Loyal, Bryce can't see over the defensive line. Steel Loyal says this, you ain't lying, Honda, bro. Got to jump pre-snap to read the defense.
He's going to be back there like when my kid has a little step stool to get around in the kitchen.
Yes.
And that's what kid is Kyler Murray or what's his name?
Bryce
Young. Well, and so does Kyler.
Let's go here. Tortilla. Graham could probably play offense and defense for us. Let's go to Honda. He says Bryce will have to play with the platform cleats in Pittsburgh. And finally, Steel Loyal says YA Black so big when he walks past the TV, you miss 3 commercials. And I love that about the guy. He's a fucking monster. You know what, Steel Loyal? I'm going to throw the game ball to you on that one because I love YA and 3 commercials is a long time. A few more things, Mike. Let's go. Let's blow through these. Sebastian Joseph Day, under the radar weapon, Mike. And this is something that everyone keeps saying to me this offseason because I'm going to talk about this Buffalo game last year. The fact that we gave up so many yards in an important game and against a team that you don't let up to 200 plus yards. It could have been a different game, obviously. Mike, is Sebastian Joseph Day a big enough piece to fix these kind of problems? Again, I don't want to see 200 yards given up in any game this year by us, by the way of the ground. And I think that that's not a terrible expectation to have. I think that if you're considered a good defense, listen, freaky things do happen from day to day, all the time in life. This wasn't the case in Buffalo. They came down to Pittsburgh. They ran the ball down our throats in our stadium, over 200 yards. Mike, is Sebastian Joseph Day ultimately enough to fix this? Because at the end of the day, you still have the 2 middle inside guys that are the same inside guys as last year when you're talking about Wilson and you're talking about Queen. So let's think about this defensive line here a little bit, Mike. Is SJD going to be enough to prevent that kind of thing from happening? Of course, Harmon's in his second season. That's going to play a big part. But tell me a little bit about Sebastian Joseph Day.
I don't think he is going to be that big of a piece to stop this because Graham wants to run a lot of nickel, more or less make our nickel defense our base defense. And so that means you got Harmon, you got Cam Hayward, and then 2 edge rushers, and then the 2 backers. So I don't know how that's going to help us out if we're going to spend most of our defense with just 2 down linemen. Is he going to do a modified nickel where we're running 3 D linemen, 1 inside backer, and 2 edge rushers? I don't know. I know when we go to base, he's going to help. Like everywhere he's gone, he's been a serviceable, good nose tackle that's good there at eating up blocks and making the occasional play when called upon. But when our coaching staff wants to run nickel, you're not throwing out a nose tackle out there. So I don't know how that's going to help us, stop the run any more than we did last year, unless there's, a new type of scheme involved. So that's what I want to see is the scheme. But where he's going to fit in, if we only run base, like not even 25% of the time. So I don't know how big of an impact he's going to have.
I'm going to bounce over these next few topics, Mike. Let's go right here to fullback and tight end. Riley Nowakowski will be better than Meatwad, Mike. You know what? At the end of the day, if he's as good as Meatwad, I will be happy. If Riley Nowakowski ends up being better than Meatwad, you know what? Ding, ding, ding. We hit the lottery in a sense. You need that player. You need that fullback. You need that guy. We proved it with Connor Hayward, with him on the team. He was able to do those little things. He did them very well. Mike, Riley Nowakowski, his replacement, how are you feeling about him? Because there's a lot of optimism about him. Again, Mike, we still have not played a snap, not even a preseason snap. But this is Connor. And again, those are big shoes to fill. Connor did very well with what it was that he did. Rookie Riley Nowakowski, Mike.
Like if I don't think we're going to get the same amount of production out of him the way what we got out of Meatwad. If we can get rookie Meatwad type production out of rookie Meatwad 2, I'll be okay with that. Because when Meatwad came here his rookie year, they used him in those type of situations in a lesser extent than we saw the last 2 years with him. Where he came in on would get you a sneaky third down conversion, a sneaky fourth down conversion, shit like that. If he can get us those type of things, it's going to be an adequate replacement. I think Meatwad could have been used a lot more last year. It's weird saying it because the kid's sneaky athletic.
I know.
And he grew on me the more he played. It's like, okay, he does not look like he belongs in the NFL, but he plays like he belongs in the NFL. And he was starting to get some.
The guy's a football player. He's a football player.
Yeah, he's a football player, and from all accounts, so is Nowakowski.
Yeah,
but I for a 6th round pick, I don't want to put high expectations on him. But if we can get kind of what Meatwad did his rookie year at a Meatwad 2.0, I'll be happy.
Just focus on doing the things that fullbacks do. It shouldn't it shouldn't be rocket science.
Yeah. And from all accounts, they're going to use him in the same way that he was used at Indiana. So it's not like they're reinventing the wheel with what they want this cat to do. And he did Meatwad things there, and he's a glue guy. He's a good locker room guy, and he's that guy that will get you the dirty yards, which is what Meatwad did. So, give me similar production, I'll be happy.
All right, so we sat Sebastian Joseph Day to Meatwad to Nowakowski. 2 more, Mike. We went defense, offense. Defense, offense is how we're going to finish it up. Defense. Asante Samuel Jr., Brandon Eccles. Either one of these guys go to Detroit, as these Detroit Lions are now desperate, Mike, at the corner position. ASJ, Brandon Eccles, either one of these guys in play, and if they are, what would we expect to get back from Detroit?
I don't think we get a whole lot of back for either of them, especially with ASJ coming back from that injury. There's still question marks there. But he would be the one, like, if I'm shopping a corner, I like him, but he's the one I would shop. I want Eccles for more inside depth. I think if they're really high on Everett, okay, you're going to shop ASJ. He'd be the one I would shop. I don't want to shop him. I want to keep him here. I think more help in the secondary is going to be better in the long run. But, if they can offer you something good, I go get it. But I don't think you get a third for him. Like, for me, a third would be like a home run. If Detroit called me up, like, if we called Detroit up, hey, man, ASJ is available. We're thinking about a third for him. And they say, yeah, I'd go and do it. Just because you don't know how, like, those neck injuries, they're iffy. But I like the way he plays, but he would be the one I would shop because I think you can get more in return. You're thinking about the future. But I don't want either of them to go because I think we're going to need them all.
And final question, Mike, back to the offense. DK Metcalf, Pittman, Jeremy, Roman, Weegan. It was wrote this morning that the odd man out may be Benny Sco. When it's time to break this down at the end, Mike, and get down to 53, is there any chance Benny Sco isn't a Steeler come kickoff in September? I'll read them again. DK, Pittman, Jeremy, Roman, and Weegan. And which would be the questionable one for me, providing Roman don't go out and shit the bed, or Jeremy don't go, you know what I'm saying? So just topical layer. Weegan would be the guy that wouldn't be the guy to make this list if you were just going to go 5 receivers.
Yeah. I'm carrying 6. I'd keep Ben Sco. He's not going to give you a lot offensively. Neither is Weegan, but he offers more of an offensive upside than Weegan does right now. He can fill in. He's been here the past couple of years, filled in as that 5th receiver when called upon when we needed a body to make a play. I'm keeping them both. And he's one of your top gunners.
Let me ask you.
McCarthy wants guys to do multiple things, and all these guys on offense do multiple things. I'm keeping Benny Sco, and I'm keeping Weegan.
Yeah, I'm just reading John at the board here. Dude is saying, Benny, if anyone could go or should, if one of these 6 guys must go, Mike. And again, like Steel Loyal said, I could totally see McCarthy keeping 6 because he wants to play a passing offense and having more bodies. You would think would certainly be beneficial, Mike. But if one of these 6 guys would have to go at the end of the day, who would it be for you? Would it be Weegan, or would it be who would it be? If we have 6 men, we need to get rid of one. Which one of these guys are not on the team?
Roman.
All right, fair enough. Let's continue on the board, Mike, and we will continue to get into some things here as we're kind of rounding third on the show. I'm going to just go back up a hair. and get right here. Let's go back to Tortilla. Tortilla saying Bryce is lobbying to make the football field a hill so he can run downhill. Let's go back to Cody. Cody says this outside leverage the whole game. That's why teams ran for 299 yards on us. Tortilla says, imagine getting tripped up at the 10 and rolling down to the 40. Steel Loyal says the 4-2-5. We could see a 4-man front. Let's go to Tortilla. That was Steel. Let's go to Tortilla. Tortilla says we played outside leverage because there's monsters under the middle of the field. Let's go to Mark Malone. No, I'm sorry, Tyrone. Tyrone says 4-2-5. With our defensive line, DBs, good luck. Mark Malone says we ran it 75% of the time last year, Ty. Just like everybody else is what he's saying. Also, he says it's 4 down linemen. Steel Loyal says I love the 4-2-5. Follows it up by saying especially when you throw in disguises. Mark Malone says, yeah, we did, but Graham has better packages and we got better DBs in safety. Dude's saying keep Eccles. Keep Eccles if something would go down and you would have to lose one of those two gentlemen, Eccles or ASJ. Mark Malone is saying this. I really do think Nowakowski plays a bigger role than Hayward did on this offense. Steel Loyal says, no, Benny will be there. Benny will be here. McCarthy will keep 6 receivers. Dude says Benny, if anyone could go or should go, is who he's saying. Mark Malone, of course, again, is being Mark. He says JPJ goes to Detroit. He says, what are you talking about, ASJ? What are you talking about, Eccles? And Steel Loyal says, I'm about to send you to Detroit, Mark. He's about to put you on the trading block,
Detroit.
Mark. I'm going to kind of get back into like all the extra little stuff, Mike, but why don't you go ahead and tell everybody about the website? We'll get into this trivia question, which I'll give you a hint, Mike. It is about JPJ.
Ooh. So over at the2dumyinzers.com, this is actually kind of perfect because I think last week I posted an article about JPJ, and hey, so go check it out. It's, packed full of information about JPJ and comparing him to some of these other corners. That's over at the2dumyinzers.com. Got all of our social media links over there. And if you're into that sort of thing, we got the merch store. Proclaim your love for Coach Dick LeBeau. I love Dick. You love Dick. We all love Dick. We all love Coach Dick LeBeau.
Go check it out, everybody. Lots of great stuff over the website, www.the2dumyinzers.com. That's www.the2dumyinzers.com. Tortilla says we're trading JPJ for M&M. Mom's spaghetti. Let's talk about the trivia question. Mike, put on your thinking caps. Everybody on the board, everybody at home. It is time for the trivia question, and this will be a Joey Porter Jr. question. Here we go. Are you ready?
Ready.
All right. Did Joey Porter Jr. or Ike Taylor have more interceptions in college? The question of the day. The question of the day: did JPJ or Ike Taylor have more interceptions in college? Take a minute to think that over, guys. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the Tube. Again, the question of the day: who had more interceptions in college? If you think you know it, if you have a guess, perhaps maybe you have the wrong answer and you just want to answer it anyway. Dude, off the top, right on the board, Mike, he's saying Ike Taylor. Ike Taylor had more interceptions. The question of the day: did Joey Porter or Ike Taylor have more interceptions in college? Mike, what is your thought process?
JPJ, I think, had one or none in college, and I'm going to go with Ivan Ike Shoeless Taylor.
All right,
for the win.
That's a safe bet. That is a safe bet
From your Louisiana Lafayette.
As I'm looking this, Mike, before I reveal it, I want you to pull it up and look for yourself real quick with the answers. I think you're going to think it's fun. I think you're going to find it funny, and I'll reveal the answer. Dude said Ike Taylor. Sosh, what's up, man? Always great seeing Sosh. Says, what's up, my dude? I'm here, Mike.
Sosh.
House all the way from Switzerland. Says, better late than never. I couldn't agree more. Steel Loyal says, well, JPJ only had one, so I'm pretty sure. Just keep watching Mike's face. That's all I got to say. Steel Loyal, but I could have had 0. Somber says, what did I miss? It is question time. Question of the day is which did Joey Porter Jr. or Ike Taylor have more interceptions in college? And there Mike is seeing the answer I see. They both got skilled hands, Steel Loyal said. Mike, what is the score between the two when it comes to interceptions in college?
Mine is showing JPJ with 1
Mm-hmm.
and Ike Taylor with 8.
8? Yeah, that ain't right.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm getting 0. I literally have 2 things up right now that say he has 0 interceptions in college. 2 different sources. So double check me again. I always ask you to double check me because Google F's with me. But
mine was from Google, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, now it's saying, oh man.
See, this is what pisses me off about this fucking Google.
Yeah, you're expecting it to be.
Hold on, dude. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to shoot you, but
I'm sorry.
Listen,
I knew what you were going on a rant. I jumped in.
The thing is just so fucking stupid because how are you supposed to be able to Google something and it gives you fucking different answers to the same fucking question? How fucking annoying is that? I just wish there was something that would fix that. Yeah, me too, Somber. I mean, the answer that I got was 1-0 Joey Porter. But why the fuck every damn day we do a trivia. Why the fuck could 3 different pages give you 3 different fucking answers? Listen, I'm not even going to do trivia anymore. This is stupid. Every day I should be fucking Every day I should be questioning if what they fucking told me is the right answer or not. You know what I mean? It's fucking annoying. I'm so annoyed with it.
Yeah, now I come into it, it's giving me running back stats for Ike Taylor.
Just fucking annoyed with it. So yes, that's the answer, guys. Joey Porter had one interception in college, and Ike Taylor had 0. So if you pick Joey Porter Jr., you are correct. I think. And fucking Google is supposed to, you know what I mean? It knows everything. Turn to it and fucking ask it a question to get your answer. Yeah, or five or 6 different fucking answers. Fuck that shit. I'm done with that. Yeah, still, that's what I got too. I don't know. It's just fucking pissing me off.
See, now it's coming up 8 passes defended for me.
Because every day, it's like, here's the question. And then, somebody comes in like, well, here's a different answer. So fuck that.
Yeah, then someone else comes in. No, I found this one too.
Yeah, no, I found the answer that you have. So I don't know. So I'm over it. This should be fun. This should be a fun segment.
Yeah.
That's not fun. Getting the fuck, the fuck out of here. All right. Well, anyway. Joey Porter Jr. 1 interception in college. Ike Taylor are 2 shutdown corners for the 2000s, basically ever since the 2000s. Had a total of 1 interception in college.
Yeah,
so there you go.
Yeah, I had to go all the way to Wikipedia to find it. Like all the stat places had him for his junior year at running back, and none of them had his defensive stats for his senior year.
Did you see how annoying that is?
Yeah, you have to go through like 5 different sources.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. It ruins the whole fucking thing.
Yeah. Fuck you, Google. You used to be reliable.
And the thing was, like, okay, well, I have the right answer, but now I have to check to see if you have which is fine if there's an issue. Yeah. But every fucking day, it's like, oh, well, my computer says that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Whatever we do, it's going to be changed after the break. I promise you that. It's going to be totally different. The way we do trivia. Otherwise, I might as well just ask random things that I don't know the answer to, and we'll go fetch the answer after we ask it.
You can come back with the answer faster.
Yeah. Let's continue. He played 12 years too with two extensions, is what Sommer is saying. Interesting. Let's continue. I'm going to grab some of these messages. I just can't. I'm just fucking annoyed by that shit.
Ike had 14 interceptions in his pro career. That ain't bad.
Imagine how many he could have had.
30.
You know, if he had 14.
Right?
You know. Let's go right here. Surely it's like JPJ had 1 or none. Still Amber Turd. Corey's saying she left the grumpy. She left the grumpy on Cody's bed. Still Loyal says ask Tyrone. He probably knows. Somber says I'm seeing 0 on my end. Ask me what. Let's go here to Sauce said just like Taylor did not record any interceptions during his college career at the Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns. He originally played as running back before switching to corner for his final season in 2022. Steel Loyal says so. JPJ had one confirmed somber 14 in the NFL though. Steel Loyal follows up by saying, so we just need to find out how many Ike had. Yes, he had 0 and then 14 in the pros. Somber says, bring back Ask Jeeves.
Yes, I need my guy in my Butler outfit.
Steel Loyal says, what I miss, laugh my ass off. I miss when AI stood for Allen Iverson. Yeah, I do too, man. The answer. At least he gave you the answer, the correct answer. Sash says, Ike Taylor only played one season at quarterback. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I knew it was something because he was a running back for a while. I just wasn't sure on the details of it. Let's go here to Cody. JPJ got roasted by Roman Wilson in college. Cody says, Johnny Depp somber. Ike played 12 years, two extensions. Cody, tell us how you really feel about Mike. Somber says, Johnny Depp is Amber's turd. And Cody says, I meant Beyonce Johnson Jr. A lot of things going on again today, guys. As we were talking about this, Mike, the latest list from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler that comes out every year. They come out Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with the running backs, with the cornerbacks, and of course today with the edge. Mike, we have one player on all three of those top 10 lists. The top 10 list will continue to come out all the way for 8 more days, as it looks like this, as they are consecutive days. No days off. Tomorrow's defensive tackles. The following days, tight ends, offensive tackles, offensive inside interior linemen, quarterbacks, off-ball linebackers, wide receivers, and then wrapping up these rankings, Mike, on the 16th with safeties. So tomorrow we're going to be talking about defensive tackles. And I'm curious to see where Cam Hayward does land in this whole thing, Mike. At the end of the day, there's always been debate here on the show. How that's going to play out. But again, at the end of the day, they have Joey Porter Jr., who has better numbers than a lot of these people on this list, only an honorable mention. So, again, just curious to see how this plays out. Again, Mike, only one player, TJ Watt, falling under the first 30 players of the best at their position so far.
Which is crazy. I'm sorry, JPJ is a top 10. Like, we ran down the stats. We ran down all the analytics. We ran down everything that shows that he is easily a top 10. Just remember, last year, TJ Watt was number 2 on this list for edge rushers. And he did not play like it, and he's now, number 7. So take some of these lists with a grain of salt.
The question, Ty was on his way to work. He was in the car. Did Joey Porter the question was this, Ty. Did Joey Porter Jr. or Ike Taylor have more interceptions at college? That was the question of the day to Ty. Question of the day, who had more interceptions in college, JPJ or Ike? Let's see. Let's go right here. Cody says, I bet Ray Charles could see the right answer. Still Loyal says, Cam will probably be in the top 10. Media loves him because of his longevity. Yeah, you're probably right. Tyrone says, I don't care about rankings anymore. Fuck ESPN. And finally, Ty says, I hope they leave everybody out anyway, so everyone's more hungry. You know what? That's a good point, too. Stop giving the accolades. Let us play back against the wall, perhaps. That mindset could do some good things for this football team. So, perhaps you're right, Tyrone. Amongst that, Mike, all 3 preseason games, if you are from outside of the city, which a lot of the time the Terrible Board, a lot of people on the Terrible Board is, all 3 preseason games will be on national TV this year. So it doesn't matter if you're on the other side of the country, Mike, like Somber and Tortilla, or if you're in the East Coast down away is like Steel Loyal, down in Florida like Christophus. Doesn't matter who, where, what, when, why. All 3 preseason games will be on national television this year for our Pittsburgh Steelers, starting with the first game, Mike, on August 13, which is 1 month and 5 days from right now. That's right, Mike, 1 month and 5 days from right now. You guys, everybody are going to be watching our Pittsburgh Steelers on TV playing football, albeit preseason, still 1 month, 5 days. Steelers on TV, 3 weeks. We have camp starting 3 weeks from today. They start showing up 3 weeks from yesterday. Camp starts 3 weeks from today in Westmoreland County here in Western Pennsylvania. Mike, and again, football season kicks off for our Steelers here at home against the Atlanta Falcons just 67 days from today. We'll be kicking that ball off and getting this thing going in meaningful games. So don't miss a beat, guys. We are right there. We are right at the edge of this thing. I do want to say what's up to my man Aaron Jade. Great seeing you on the board. I missed Mike that message of all, of course, the here we go Steelers with the Rockets. Love it as always. Great seeing you, sir. I do want to say thank you to Ty as well. Ty says, great show, you bastards. My man, as always. Ty also says, I hope they leave everybody. We did get that, Mike. But anyway, there's a lot going on. It's so hard to not think about the Steelers right now. Even with Ryan O'Hearn hitting 3 home runs and getting 10 RBIs in the Pirate game last night, it's still hard for me to not get excited about what's going on because, Mike, we have new coaches. We have new system. We have new players. We have camp in 3 weeks. We have a preseason game in 1 month and 5 days in 67 days. Games that count. I can't even believe it, Mike. Here we are.
It's right around the corner. Every day, the sounds of pads popping and helmets cracking get closer and closer and closer. It needs to get here fast. It needs to get here ASAP. I mean, I'm loving the off season, but my God, I'm ready for fucking training camp.
Yeah,
I'm ready for the battles to ensue.
And also, listen, if you want one more reason to also celebrate today, Mike, and which you do, I know you probably have the alcohol right there off the camera getting ready to celebrate, but it is, guys, today is the 93rd birthday for yours, for mine, for Mike's Pittsburgh Steelers. So do something a little extra to celebrate, Mike. Maybe even stop and grabbing yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. That would be a good way to celebrate. If you are looking for a way, Mike, people at Duquesne Pilsner always do good for us. We like to do good for them. Go check them out, Mike. They are available at Giant Eagle in 6 and 12 packs and wherever cases are sold. Hey, if you're not a big drinker, swing by, check out their social media, hit the follow, hit the like. It all will help them out, guys. They would certainly appreciate that. Duquesne Pilsner, always on tap here at the studio for every event that comes along, made right here in Western Pennsylvania, Mike. And as it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Let's go to Cody. He says, I would pay to watch a celebrity fight between Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder. Who would win? Isn't one of them dead? Are they both alive? Because I would take the living guy if one of them's dead. But I don't know. I don't know who would win that, Mike. If
that would be a good one. There is a rumor, big rumor, conspiracy theory that Stevie Wonder can't see. He's not 100% blind.
That might be a disadvantage.
He might have an advantage. So we might have to take classes off and blindfold them just to be 100% certain.
I'm not even convinced they're both still alive, but
I think Ray Charles is dead.
Is he?
He's been dead for a while. I would say I'd Google it, but we might get, Ray Charles was just born last week.
I know. Just how frustrating is that? I mean, fucking how annoying. I mean, literally. What the fuck?
I didn't mean to get you all fired back.
I feel bad for these kids that do homework. You know what I mean? And do that and write down what they see and find out later that it's wrong.
Like we talked about the other day at the studio. It was bring back the goddamn encyclopedias.
Yeah, that's what you need. We need the encyclopedias back. Kids don't even know. They don't even know the struggle. That's what I told Mike the other day. I said, guys, remember being younger and you had a question, something you didn't know? Sometimes you'd go months, years without knowing the answer to your question. You don't go longer than 5 seconds anymore without knowing the answer to anything that you need to know. I think the times aren't different. Jeez, oh man. I'd have questions for years that I wouldn't find the answers to as a kid. Let's see, Mike. It is, again, the 93rd birthday, July 8th of 1933. The Pittsburgh Steelers were born 93 years young today, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So do celebrate that, everybody. Also, a few other things before we do get ready to wrap it up for the day. If you do get online checking out some Duquesne Pilsner, don't forget to check out the two Dum Yinzers. We are all over the internet. You can check us out at Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, and even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, keep up with what's going on with the two Dum Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't yet, do hit the like button down below. Hit the like, hit the sub, the share, leave a comment. It all helps pushing things in the algorithm, guys. We certainly appreciate that very much. Thank you. Mike, your thoughts today's show?
JPJ is easily top 10, arguably top 3. So take these lists with a grain of salt. We all seen him play. We all know what he can do. I'm not too worried about the rankings because I know come Sundays he's going to lock up the other team's number 1. And I know this year too, like on the opposite side, Jamal Dean's going to lock up the team's number 2. So it's going to be a fun defense to watch play, and that leads me to the Patrick Graham. Is he hype? Is he legit? We will find out because now he is playing with all the fancy toys and gadgets. Let's see what he can do.
So there should be no excuse in in what you're saying. If he managed to do semi decent with the Raiders defense with what we're giving him, he should be able to do top end work.
Oh yeah, he should be doing historic things.
All right, let's try this again.
Historic defense part 2.
Historic defense part 2. What else do we got? We'll be back tomorrow, guys. A lot of things. One thing I know we are not going to be talking about is USA Soccer, and I got to say I'm thankful for that. For no other reason besides I was bored to tears watching this. I really was. I thought I cannot believe how much long. And like I said, you can't even watch the clock because their clock is different in soccer. It just goes and it goes upwards. It doesn't go downwards like a sports clock does. Everything goes upwards and then it doesn't stop. I was like, okay, 60 minutes. It's got to be something. It just kept going. 63 minutes, 64. Like, what? But anyway, USA unfortunately did lose to Belgium the other night, 4-1. They are done. Pirates looking better, Mike, as they're only 3 games out of a wild card spot, still very much in it. Back against the Braves today at 6:40 for game 2 out of 3 in that series, and a whole lot of Pittsburgh Steeler controversy. Certainly with these lists being put out by Jeremy Fowler from ESPN, of course, not including Joey Porter Jr. in the top 10 corners. No running backs for the Steelers on the list. And again, one pass rusher. That's TJ Watt comes in at number 7 overall in the rushers category, Mike. So again, one player out of 30 positions made it so far for the Steelers. Not what we like to see, but you know what? What are you going to do? We will continue to follow it. We'll continue to discuss it, possibly argue it, depending on whatever it is. Tomorrow, the defensive tackles come out, Mike, and then at the end of the week, we'll be looking at tight ends to wrap up the week. And then it'll go through the weekend. We'll be looking at a lot of offensive linemen through the weekend. So we still have a lot as this list continues to unfold all the way up until the 16th. So 8 more days on those. The revelation, Mike, of the Jeremy Fowler ESPN list.
I have a feeling we should be seeing a couple more Steelers on this list.
I sure hope so.
Like definitely on the D line, definitely on the interior line. Tackle, I don't think so, but definitely on the interior line.
67 days away. You can even believe that. Also, my one quick announcement, if you are following the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, of course, our soccer team in town, that game on Saturday got moved back to 7 o'clock. That is a 7 o'clock game on Saturday. They usually start earlier than that. So if you are making your way down to the stadium to watch the Hounds, you have an extra hour till that game starts. I do want to say thank you, everybody, for coming and hanging out and checking us out today. We appreciate each and every one of you. We truly, honestly do. We wouldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you, everybody on the board, as you always keep the show interesting and keep things interesting on this show, as you are the lifeblood of this show. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much. And everybody else that's at home, maybe you're listening, maybe you're watching in the car, at work, at the gym, taking a walk with your earbuds in, whatever the case may be, we thank you too, everybody. Again, we'll be back tomorrow to get into so much more. I'm sure, again, Mike, this list is certainly going to kick dust up as it continues to come out over the next 8 days. So a lot to get into with this, a lot of scoop to get into. As again, like I said, we are 3 weeks away from camp. We are a month and 5 days away from preseason games for the Steelers. We are 67 days away from kicking it off against Atlanta, and today is the Pittsburgh Steelers' 93rd birthday. Guys, if you ask me, that's enough things to motivate me to celebrate, and it certainly is and certainly will. And I know that you guys will be doing the same thing at home as well. Mike, anything before we wrap things up, brother?
No, man. This was fun today. I had a blast. I can't wait to see you bastards all again tomorrow.
We have a couple here. Cody isn't Duquesne, the same school. We have Duquesne right downtown, smack dab in the middle of the city, Duquesne University. Mark Malone, it took me forever to know what happened to Victoria's Secret models' nipples when they started airbrushing them out in catalogs. He was as confused as I was on that as well, my friend. But again, I hope everybody has a good day. Have a safe day. Mike, it's hump day already, if you can believe that. And time just continues to go fast. So the Steelers will be playing on your televisions before you know it. We will be back again tomorrow, get into everything and so much more. Mike, speak now or forever hold your peace.
Have a great day, everyone. I can't wait to do this again tomorrow with you lovely mofos.
All right, everybody. Try to hold it together, Tyrone. Try to hold it together, man. We got this. We're going
Get
to be
some
all right.
Taco Bell,
brother.
Tyrone. You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
We got this, bro. We'll be all right. Other than that, everybody, have a great day. Stay safe. It's hump day. Go out and do something fun. It's not too hot, not too cold. The rain seems to not be out there today. So maybe enjoy a little outside if you're here in the Berg. Other than that, guys, we'll see everybody tomorrow. I want to thank you, everybody, for being here. We hope to see you tomorrow. For Finch, for Derby, for Mike, for Chop, for RB, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great hump day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. See you then. Bye-bye.